from the Kingdome in the Great Northwest, Seattle, CBS Sports presents the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Thacker with Johnny Unitas, and the two youngest teams in pro football meet today. And what will they call this? What else? Expansion Bowl 2.
Well, the Buccaneers, of course, Jim, they're great defense anchored by the Selman brothers, along with Dave Peart in the middle and Council Ruloff, have only permitted 55 points scored against them so far this year. And on the other hand, their offense, or the lack of offense, let's say, have not scored a touchdown yet, but they will have an opportunity to play against the Seattle Seahawks, whose defensive team have allowed 126 points scored against them, 1,513 yards. So we shall see what we shall see this afternoon.
Well, the exciting thing here for these two teams, John, is that one of them, at least, has a 50-50 chance of winning his first game of the 1977 season. The Seattle Seahawks in the blue, the home team, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wearing their white. As you look at them here from the end zone, Seattle won the toss of the coin and will receive, so Tampa Bay will kick off to start the ball game. That means that end of the ball game for Seattle will be Al Hunter. In the much-publicized Notre Dame case, signed here as a rookie. On your left and on your right is Walter Packer, another rookie from Mississippi State. They're the double safety setup, and number 4 is Dave Green, who will be kicking off for Tampa Bay in his 5th year from Ohio University, former Bengal of Cincinnati, and we're about set to go from Seattle. Tampa Bay shooting for its first victory ever after 18 consecutive losses, and Seattle also winners for this year. Coming up is Packer at the 12. Packer the 20. 25, and tripped up as it goes over the 30-yard line. Spilled by number 53, Mike Jones. Or rather by Rick Barnes for the Buccaneers. And here's the offensive line for Seattle. You see the original Dolphin, number 73, Norm Evans, still playing at right tackle. The wide receivers, including Steve Largent, a sensation last year in his rookie season for the Seahawks. And Steve Meyer starting for Jim Zornigan at quarterback, with Sherman Smith, number 47, and number 42, Don Testament, the running back. This is Smith and a tailback on the first play of the ball game for Seattle. Sherman Smith trying to swing to the right side, gets a short gain up to about the 35-yard line, and he's hit down there by Richard Wood, number 54, who scored the only touchdown of the season thus far for Tampa Bay. And the defensive line, there you see part of them, three-man front for Tampa Bay with Leroy Selman, the Outland Trophy winner from Oklahoma, anchoring on the right side. His brother Dewey has been switched to linebacker, playing the strong side linebacker on the inside. There are the linebacking core and the deep backs. A couple of former Dolphins in there, including Jarvis White and Cedric Brown. Second down and about 8 yards to go for Seattle. First pass of the game, and move for curl in by the tight end run by Duke Ferguson. Wide receiver on the right side, and Steve Meyer connects immediately. Jarvis White hit him down, but it'll be a first down.
Let's take a look at it right here. As you see Meyer going back on a three-step drop, a little quick slant right behind the linebacker. There's the completion, fine throw, and a fine hit immediately after the catch.
Several trades been made here, Johnny, by the Seattle team. That was one of them, Duke Ferguson, who came over from the Dallas Cowboys. As Seattle, an offensive-minded team against the defensive Tampa Bay, and a little bit edgy, perhaps, was Dave Peart, who, by the way, is having a homecoming today. Dave played right here in Seattle for the University of Washington.
And he's an outstanding man for over the middle for the Buccaneers. There you see him right there moving into the offensive center. And we have an encroachment call.
Those guys played against each other in college, John, when Peart was in Washington and Art Kuhn was at UCLA. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League, and it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Seattle Seahawks and the National Football League is prohibited. Okay, here's Steve Meyer, who's been pressed into service here for Seattle with the injury to Jim Zorn in Tampa territory for the first time today. First down, 5 to go. Up the middle, a little short trap to Smith. He's short of the first down. Stopped down the 45 by Richard Wood again. A linebacker, one of the 7 Southern California players on this team for John McKay. There's Sherman Smith, who was drafted as a wide receiver, was a quarterback in college, and now a pretty good running back.
Not bad. They've been doing a real fine job so far. And this young football team, as we mentioned before, Jim, that both of them just kind of feeling each other out right here, especially the offensive team of the Seahawks, trying to keep it on the ground. Only one throw so far this afternoon.
Second down and 2. It should be a play here for Meyer to pull something if he wishes. A little play action. A pitch back to Sherman Smith, and he will not get the first down. There's that tough Tampa Bay defense. Counsel Rudolph, a venerable veteran from Kentucky State, rode him down, and I believe short of the first down.
I believe Counsel Rudolph must have been playing for years and years. When I was playing, he was playing. I thought he was a lot older than that, but he is the oldest man on the Buccaneer team. That's, 27 years old, I believe.
Oldest man, and he's the senior at a ripe old age of 27. Certainly a young ball club as John McKay building from the ground up. Okay, here's the first third down and big play for the ball game thus far. Steve Meyer has to call it on third down and 1. And they give us to Sherman Smith. Coming to the left side, he will not get it. Oh, he is pounded back hard, and breaking through was Richard Wood once more, and 3 big defensive plays by Richard Wood, a weak side linebacker on the inside, and this 3-4 setup.
Let's watch the charge of the defensive line there. You see why Richard Wood was able to come in and stop the runner for getting the first down. Good aggressive play by Richard Wood and a host of other tacklers of the Buccaneers.
Cedric Brown, the free safety, being one of them. Okay, back to set up to receive the punt is Isaac Higgins. There he is, and he can literally fly. In the punt is Herman Weaver, the old thunderfoot for Seattle. Fourth coming about 3, and Weaver puts it in over in. Higgins calls for fair catch, and can handle it. Could be a big break of the game. Scrambling up the 10, and it is Seattle ball. Peter Cronin, watch the play again.
Watch the replay and watch Higgins' eyes. I don't believe he follows the ball into his hands. He's looking downfield, see where someone's going to be able to help him. And there you see, he does not get his hand on a football. And the recovery is made by 57 of the Seahawks, Peter Cronin.
Well, he's been a standout of the specialty teams here, John. Peter Cronin has, and the first big break of the game goes for the Seattle Seahawks. A first and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. Almost first and goal. They give it to Smith, flies the middle, a couple of grudging yards, pounded back by Richard Wood and Dave Hare.
This is where the area gets tough down here now. They're inside the 10-yard line, and you really close everything down. You have to come up with some real good execution of plays when you're down here, because that defense is going to be coming as hard as they possibly can. We have to see whether or not the Buccaneers are going to be up to it this afternoon.
Well, this is the strong suit for Tampa Bay, and you're looking at Steve Meyer, second-year quarterback out of New Mexico, second-string quarterback for Seattle. Second out of that goal. Meyer looking for the end zone. Meyer with time, fires it incomplete, intended down around the 5-yard line for the tight end Ron Howard coming across the green, and it will be third down now. Jarris White was over there covering from his left corner backing post. So Meyer, on a second down attempt, now faces third and virtually goal to go from the 8-yard line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The plays are coming in from up here in the press box. Bill Nelson will send them down on the field, and they'll be run in and out to Steve Meyer. And let's see what Bill calls from this position.
Got Largent to the left and Ferguson to the right. The wide receivers bringing Largent in motion. Now here's Meyer looking. He's going to Largent. He's there. Touchdown. Beautifully run pattern by number 80, Steve Largent.
There's a good play, and I called that Bill Nelson was calling the plays. I got the teams mixed up here, Jim. That's Jerry Rome was up here in the press box, an old quarterback out of Tulsa, now calling the plays for Steve Meyer. So it was a fine catch and a fine throw.
And Jerry Rome coached Steve Largent in college down at Tulsa, so he knows the man to go to. The try for the point by Leipold is good. So the Seattle Seahawks draw first blood in this expansion bowl 2. The Seahawks go up 7-0 over Tampa Bay in the first 5 minutes of today's game from the Kingdome in Seattle. Next Saturday on CBS Sports Spectacular, 4 exciting events coming your way as heavyweights Leon Spinks faces Scott Lideau. Light heavyweight Michael Spinks meets Gary Summerhays. And heavyweight Bernardo Mikado faces Greg Johnson. Followed by the world's strongest man competition next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on the CBS Sports Spectacular. And John, a friend of old Jack Patera, is going to be in that strongman competition.
Oh, yeah. He's a pretty good friend. He's his brother, right?
That's right.
Ken Patera will be one of the strongest men out there.
Now Seattle has moved ahead 7-0. They cashed in on the break. The fumble fair catch attempt that was muffed by Ike Higgins. And back deep. There's Higgins on your left. He's a serious threat to go all the way anytime he gets the ball. And Danny Reese is back there deep with him. So it is Higgins on the right and Reese on the left. John Leipold, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, won the kicking chores here midway last year at Seattle, will kick off for the Seahawks. And looks like it's going to go to Higgins. He has it on the 11. Ike Higgins, speedster, 25. Ooh, he is taken down hard at the 29-yard line by number 59, Charles McSwain, first-year player from Cal Lutheran, who really nailed him. And Tampa now will start again, this time from their own 26-yard line. As a matter of fact, it's the first time they've started yet to have the ball. There's the scoring drive. 4 minutes and 18 seconds, 7 plays. Seattle going in to take the lead 7-0. Now Tampa Bay for the first time. Gary Huff at quarterback. Behind him, Ed Williams, who's playing in place of Ricky Bell, and Anthony Davis. We'll set the lineup for you in a moment. They give inside to Davis. Davis, a little bit of an opening, and he is hit hard by Ron East around the 35. There's the Tampa Bay lineup. You see they picked up Dan Mellon and Jeff Winans from Oakland. And the wide receivers, coach's son John McKay, Morris Owens, who led them last year, and a new tight end, Knob Ziegler, is taken over from Bob Moore, who's out for the year. Huff again at quarterback, making his second start. Ed Williams in place of Ricky Bell with Davis. Jimmy DuBose now is moved in the lineup. He's at fullback in place of Ed Williams. Second about 6 for Huff. Gives the short man, and DuBose has the first down. I think he cracks over the 35. Terry Beason and Ron East on the stop. But a quick opening play right up the middle for DuBose, the former all-conference player from the University of Florida.
Big problem with the Buccaneers so far is not today, but the first 4 ball games, there's been a lack of consistency in their offense. Their offensive line would do something real good. They pick up maybe 25, 30 yards, and all of a sudden you get 1 or 2 holding plays. And these things do happen. They happen to a young football team. They are things, though, that can be corrected.
All right, first down of the game for Tampa Bay. Up back again. He goes to short man. There's Williams back in there, and he plows his way up over the 43. Don Dufek from strong safety to make the stop. So John McKay intent on establishing his ground game here in the game. You saw the lineman a moment ago for Seattle. Here are the linebackers. Sandy Green is going to be a great one from the University of Florida. He's at the strong side linebacking post. And there are the deep backs. Don Dufek, who made that tackle, has won the strong safety spot this year after being a star of the special teams in the initial year for the Seahawks. Second down, less than 5 to go. Up the middle goes the fullback DuBose, and Tampa Bay continues to hit at the middle. Terry Beason making the stop. They got those young players in the middle, East, Boyd, and Beason. Either rookie or second year for those 3, and the Buccaneers are hitting straight ahead.
They're doing a fine job. The offensive line blowing out on the defensive line, moving them back off the football. We mentioned earlier in the ball game that Seattle has given up 1,513 yards in their first 4 ball games. So I'm sure we are going to see the Buccaneers stay on the ground pretty much in the afternoon.
First down, here comes Anthony Davis looking for a block, trying to cut back, picks his way, and he's into Seattle territory, the 46, stopped by Steve Priest, the newly acquired free safety veteran from the Rams.
A good quick pitch to A.D. As you see, a real fine block out there by number 43, Ed Williams of the Buccaneers, and A.D. just does some fancy footwork down into Seattle territory.
Now the figures for Anthony Davis. Had a peculiar professional career thus far, we'll tell you about later. There's a good look at Davis, the tailback. Second down, about 5 for Tampa Bay. Quick man again, it's Williams plowing straight ahead on brute strength. He pulls his way to almost another first down, and they have it. Ron East on the stop. And it is a first down right at the Seattle 40-yard line. So here's Tampa Bay asserting its ground game, coming back from the break that put Seattle in the lead 7-0. Ike Higgins replaced by John McKay again in the wide receiver spot. Both McKay and Morris Owens go wide to the left, with an eye in the backfield behind Gary Huff. A give to the fullback, and it'll be nothing doing this time for Ed Williams. East and Terry Beeson that time stopped it, so they may have gone to the well once too often in this drive.
Well, they're going to do that. They have been successful with it, and of course, Billy Nelson is not going to go away from it as long as he's that old quarterback adage. You have something working, you stay with it till they stop it and then go to something else. I think we'll see that play maybe 10, 15 times this afternoon. Williams is a fine runner with real strong leg drive.
John, if you say that's the thing to do, I believe it. Second down, about 9 for Tampa Bay at the Seattle 39. Here's a draw play to Davis. He's going to have to go outside. He's got the speed, cuts back beautifully, and is stopped just short of another first down. Around the 31 by Dave Brown. Boy, Davis showed he's an acrobat on that one. Watch him.
Let's take a look at it. It's a draw play right here from by Davis as he cuts back to the outside. Good blocking by Williams. Watch the move right there. In midair, he's trying to change direction there. But it was a fine tackle by Dave Brown to bring A.D. down.
You can see why one of his heroes was O.J. Simpson. He's very reminiscent of some of O.J.'s moves. Third down, less than a yard for Tampa Bay. Everybody's in tight, and they're going to power it with A.D., and he's got it to the 26. Eddie McMillan on the stop by Anthony Davis scores the first down. He's becoming more and more consistent runner now for Tampa Bay. Buccaneers are moving.
John McKay just did not feel that Anthony Davis came to camp in condition, and he says that A.D. now is in very fine condition, and we hope to see an awful lot of good running out of A.D. this afternoon. I know that would make the Buccaneer fans happy back in Tampa.
Well, we'll see as we get down close if they can continue to run it. Dubose tracking hard off left tackle inside the 25. Bob Lurtzema on the stop. Goes to about the 23-yard line. So Williams and Dubose continue to shuttle at fullback. Both are good blockers, Williams particularly, and Anthony Davis running a tailback. Ike Higgins comes back in at wide receiver, replacing John McKay. The senior John McKay sending in the plays from the sidelines. Bill Nelson upstairs, as Johnny Unitas pointed out, relaying word down from that position. As Tampa Bay on this organized drive, going relentless toward the goal line here, back to pass, Huff looking, first time it is tipped incomplete. He was trying to go to Davis out of the backfield. It was tipped by a big lineman. I think it was Dennis Boyd, the right tackle, number 68, who got him up. He's 6'6", so he really doesn't have to reach very high.
He got his hands up, and that's what the defense is told to do. If they can't penetrate, get back to the quarterback. Well, get as far as you can and raise those hands, jump up in the air whenever the quarterback's looking. But there's Jack Patera standing on the sidelines. The Seahawks have only sacked the quarterback twice this year, so Gary Huff should get some real fine protection.
Third down and 7, a big play now for Buccaneers at the Seahawks 23-yard line. Seattle bluffing blitz. Pretty good protection going down the left corner on the flag pattern, and it is out of bounds to McKay. He caught it out of bounds. Dave Brown was right there with him. A flag pattern to McKay. The ball was beautifully thrown, but just a little bit too far, about a half step, John.
Here's where it's important for an offensive receiver to know exactly where he is on the field. Let's take a look and see whether or not McKay could have got his feet in bounds on this pass. There's a ball thrown perfectly. Well, he was in the air. He was trying to keep his feet in, but he was dragging him, and they just could not keep him in.
Allen Levitt, a rookie from Georgia, in to try for a 40-yard field goal to try and get Tampa Bay on the board. Number 9, Levitt. It kicks up. It looks long enough. And it is right through there. Tampa Bay has scored on its first possession, really. And so that cuts the lead down. Seattle's still on top. But now it is 7-3, Seahawks over the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay has scored. It's now 7-3. Seattle, as these two teams, both expansion clubs entering the NFL a year ago, battling here in what's a very serious game for each, both looking for its first victory of 1977. Got a good look, quick look at Dave Green. There, the deep man on the right is Walter Packer. On the left to Al Hunter, who's run the 100 in 9.3. booming kick by Green. It's going to go to Hunter. Okay, we'll see the Notre Dame man right here from his own 3-yard line. Hunter looking for a block at the 20. Oh, a good shoestring tackle as he goes over the 20-yard line. Let's see who that number 25 got him. It's Curtis Jordan, I believe. Curtis Jordan with a saving tackle because Hunter was looking towards some open room.
Why it's so important on these special teams that you have all 11 men working for the one thing, and that's get down there and get that man with a football. Fine play by Jordan.
There's the scoring drive. 13 plays for 57 yards, a 40-yard field goal, and Tampa Bay is on the board. Here's Seattle. Steve Meyer at quarterback. Behind him, Sherman Smith and Don Teston. Meyer back on a play-action pace. A fake for the line drive. Up the middle. He drills it intercepted. Back is Richard Wood over the 35 to 30. 25 Wood, and Tampa Bay with his first big turnover of the game. Sherman Smith makes the stop, but Richard Wood with his second interception of the season, and the Buccaneers have a golden opportunity.
And that ball was thrown directly into Sherman's hands. He didn't even have to move. You see right here, he's going to throw the football. Sherman just moved right in front of the offensive man and picked it off. That is the 6th interception thrown by Meyer so far this season.
Tampa Bay quickly to work now. The Buccaneers first down at Seattle's 23-yard line. Quick pitch to Anthony Davis around the left side. A great defensive play by Ken Geddes. Geddes, a veteran linebacker from the Rams, came here with the expansion team a year ago, makes the big play and throws him for the loss.
There's a pitch to A.D. I think A.D. just got a little too far in front of his people right here. He had his mind. He was going to go outside. Did not watch the block by the tackle, so he was not able to come back to the inside. And fine play by Geddes.
Right, a good old Jacksonville boy. Loss on the play of about 4. It's second down and 14 for Tampa Bay at the 27-yard line. Gary Huff right back to looking. Huff on a screen pass to Davis. One block he needs at the 25. He can't get it, and he's pulled down the 22, but a pretty good game. The stop was made by Autry Beeman. They got back the yardage loss plus about 1 or 2. There's Anthony Davis, an all-star for Southern California. Here next week's games on CBS. You'll see NFL action. Dallas, Philadelphia, Green Bay going to Tampa Bay. New York Giants tangling with Washington. That's a rematch. Atlanta clashing with Chicago. New Orleans, St. Louis, and Detroit and San Francisco. Consult your local listings for game and times in your area. Now on third down. Huff fakes. Huff fires. It is caught by Carter, but he's hit down immediately on the 20. Lewis Carter grabbed it on the 20, but a good defensive play by the young rookie linebacker, Terry Beeson, from the University of Kansas. So Seattle's defense was equal to the occasion after the interception. And they're going to force Tampa Bay to try for a field goal, which will be about a 37-yarder. A 40-yarder has already been made by Levitt. So Alan Levitt, number 9, is in. Holding is Dave Green, his fellow kicker. It'll be a 37-yard attempt. Right there. Tampa Bay with its second field goal of the quarter. That cuts the lead down to 1 point now. Seattle on top by a score of 7-6.
Levitt, it was the 14th kicker that the Buccaneers have used. And talking with the coach yesterday, they feel that Levitt has solved that field goal kicking problem that they've had.
There's John McKay wearing his colors, and Gary Huff talking upstairs. The mighty forces war over who shall rule the star world of the 24th century in tomorrow's powerhouse adventure of Logan's Run. Watch for it at 8 o'clock tomorrow. I say it'll be the Oakland Raiders.
I think so.
Kicking off for Tampa Bay will be Dave Green. Dave, who doubled last year, not only in kicking off, does the punting, as you know, so at times he also doubles in field goal kicking.
Dave, so far this year, Jim, has kicked the ball 39 times, so you can see that the Buccaneers have had not much offense all season.
That kickoff out of bounds, so they'll bring it back for a 5-yard penalty. Also, Johnny, the 2 field goals exactly equals the entire output of field goals in the first 4 games.
So far, we have a fairly good football game. Most people didn't think that neither one of these teams would score a whole lot this afternoon.
After the interception by Richard Wood, Tampa Bay used 4 plays. They were stopped, of course, on the 3rd down attempt by a pretty stiff Seattle defense, so they're fired up also. And then the field goal, 37 yards by Levitt, and it's 7-6. I'll say we got a real good game going. Now 5 yards further back to the 30-yard line. And remember, Seattle's got those fly boys back there, Al Hunter and Walter Packer. Going toward Packer, and he's going to take it on about the run at the 20, 30, 35, 40, 42-yard line, and the day is saved by Paul Harris. Number 52, Paul Harris, a rookie from Alabama, got Packer. He might have been off and going. So Seattle takes over with good field position now. A 22-yard return by Walter Packer, signed as a free agent, is the second leading kickoff returner in the AFC. And, of course, number 1, all Floridians know, is Freddie Solomon of the Dolphins. It'll be 1st and 10 here for Seattle at the 42. Largent going in motion. They give the tailback Smith. Sherman Smith, a good opening up the middle, flies over the 50. Oh, a strong run by Sherman Smith, who's put on about 25 pounds, and Dewey Selman finally halted him, but it's going to be a run of about 8 or 9 yards.
Smith was the top Seahawk rusher last year against the Tampa Bay with 45 yards and 10 carries. And both of these teams now have been continuing to keep the ball on the ground, trying to maneuver and get some kind of good field position so they can maybe throw the football. Let's see what they do in the 2nd down situation.
2nd down, less than 2 to go. Ball just nosed over into Tampa Bay territory. Here's a fumble by Smith. Smith still got it. He's got the 1st down. He goes to the 45. So Smith was able to pick up his own fumble and get a 1st down. Cecil Johnson stopped him. That's pretty good containment, I'd say, up on the offensive line.
Very good play. They should really, the defense did not come in and get Smith back there. They had enough time. It was a little bit of a counter play, and was able to pick up the 1st down on the situation.
Smith's the only back for Seattle rushing this game. He's carried 7 times for 20 yards. So testament thus far just been for blocking only. Let's see what Steve Meyer does here on 1st and 10 at the Tampa Bay 45. Well, something went wrong. Somebody moved on the Seattle team. It's going to be a legal procedure, and this will cost the Seahawks a cross-up in the signal count. And looked like somebody on the right side, might have been the tight end Ron Howard, moved a little early. That drew Tampa Bay off. Let's listen.
False start, offense, number 16. 1st down.
Well, it was Meyer. Started pulling out of there before the count. Sometimes they'll get you just moving your head, John.
Well, the quarterback was a little bit anxious to get out of there. Just take a look at the officials there. Referee Fred Silva, umpire Ralph Moorcroft, head linesman Norm Cragsett, Vince Jacob, Bob Rice, and Charlie Musser doing an excellent job out there this afternoon.
1st and 15 for Meyer, now from the 50. 1st and 15. Meyer with time. Out of the backfield. Smith can't hold it. It's broken up by Cecil Johnson after the midfield stripe about the line of scrimmage. The pattern that's used a great deal by Seattle, throwing to the backs. They'll either go to Largent or go to the one of the backs. Sherman Smith normally, although David Sims, who hasn't played a lot today, had been a key player for the Seahawks in recent games. Now it's 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15 at the 50.
Largent is off to the right side, and Duke Ferguson is down to the left. Passing situation. Back goes Meyer. Good rush by her. Goes Selman after Meyer. Meyer on the run. Fires it down the sidelines to Largent. Inside the 25. Boy, what a job Largent did coming back, getting open. Jarris White made the stop.
There we got ISO on Largent. Let's take a look at the move. A quick out and an up pattern, and he saw the Steve Meyer. Steve was run out of the pocket, and as they're taught, come on back and help the quarterback. A fine throw by the quarterback on that. Actually on the run, throwing while he's running. Steve Largent doing a job.
That's what Largent's done this year, and of course last year he had a sensational season. And that play ends the 1st quarter. So the 1st period ends, and it's a close one at the Kingdome. 7-6 in favor of Seattle.
Here's the 1st quarter
Good luck watching one of the Seagulls in Seattle as the Seattle Seahawks hold a slim 1-point lead over Tampa Bay, 7-6 as we go to the second quarter. And it's Seattle on the move again. Inside the Tampa Bay 25. First down at the 24-yard line. Wide left goes Duke Ferguson. To the right, Steve Larson, who made the key catch ending the first period. Steve Meyer behind him, Testament and Smith from the tailback. There's a little fake, and now Smith going outside on the left. 20, 15. Smith may go 10, 7-yard line. Sherman Smith stopped by Dewey Selman. Another fine run by this former quarterback from Miami of Ohio.
Some real fine blocking right here up front by the Seattle Seahawks. As you see Smith bouncing back to the outside. Dewey Selman coming over to make the tackle.
17-yard run by Sherman Smith.
Let's take a look at some of the blocking here on Leroy Selman. As you see, he's tied back up to the inside, trying to get outside, cannot get over top of his own man.
And Sherman Smith has carried 8 times for 37 yards. It's first and goal for Seattle. They go to Smith again. The ninth time he's carried. He tries to cut back, and he just goes on his own power inside the 5. Dewey Selman and Dave Pear, and that's quite a pair. They team up to make the stop inside the 5.
Gain of 3 to the 4.
The drive started on the 42-yard line, so Seahawks have come quite a ways, and Sherman Smith is the man who's been carrying the brunt of the attack with that one long pass play from Steve Meyer to Steve Largent. Second down and goal at the 4. 2 tight ends in, Ron Howard and John Sawyer. All the blocking they can muster. There goes Smith again. Oh, nothing doing. He is smacked hard by Charlie Hanna. Charlie Hanna, the big rookie from Alabama. He was in on the goal line defense for Seattle for Tampa Bay making the stop.
Charlie Hanna is one of the better defensive players of the Buccaneers, and he comes from a real good football family too. His father played professional football. He's got an older brother who's playing up at New England. He's got another younger brother down in Alabama. So Coach Bear Bryant has had all of the Hannas down in Alabama and has done an excellent job with them.
That's right. David's now playing for the Crimson Tide this year. Third down and goal for Seattle. Tampa Bay defense has stiffened. In motion is Smith. There's a play action. Here's Meyer firing. Ends a Largent. Great catch for touchdown. Oh, what a catch by Steve Largent. His second catch today for a score for Seattle. The Seahawks going through the air.
It's a fine catch, a fine fake right here by Steve. And watch Largent as he comes from behind, catches the ball right in between 2 defensive men of the Buccaneers. It was a 4-yard throw for a touchdown.
And the Seahawks have struck again. Seattle goes up 13-6, and in is Leipold to try with the point after. John Leipold. He's got it. Seattle goes ahead 14-6. A passing of Steve Meyer and Steve Largent is sparking the Seahawks in this expansion bowl 2.
All right, there you see a shot of Steve Largent, number 80, over on the bench. Steve has caught 3 catches so far this afternoon for 38 yards and 2 touchdowns. And last week, he did not catch a ball at all against the Patriots. And it was the first time after 17 consecutive games that he did not catch a pass. So he's making up for what he did not do last week this week.
First time in the history of this ball club, of course, that he hadn't caught one. Here's the kick. Back is Higgins. Ike has it on the 9. 20, 25, 30 Higgins, and as he jarred there, a rib rocking tackle by Sammy Green. So one Florida guy to another, and Sammy Green of Seattle puts him down after a 21-yard return by Isaac Higgins. First-year player out of Southern. There, the scoring drive, 58 yards, and a big chunk of it out of the long pass from Meyer to Largent. 4 minutes and the time elapsed, and Seattle goes ahead 14-6. They won the game last year, and Tampa Bay marred by a penalty. There's Huff, backward up the middle. Batted, look out! And Booker, should have been intercepted by Sammy Green. Green couldn't hold it. I know Johnny Unitas, quarterback, hates to see those balls tipped.
Well, I'll tell you, whenever they're tip the ball, that's, you know, it's just up for grabs. And I don't know why the defensive man for the Seahawks missed that ball. Green, number 56. Did you see it right there? It's right in his hands. He couldn't hardly miss it. Next time we'll put a handle on it for him.
He was thinking about a touchdown, you know. Now Huff goes back to work. 2nd down and 10 on the 31. And off to Carter. Tries the right side with not much success. Ron East plugs up the gap from left tackle, making the stop for Seattle, and it'll be a gain of only about a yard for Lewis Carter, who was the leading rusher a year ago, number 32 for Tampa Bay from the University of Maryland. Came over from the Oakland Raiders, who had drafted him 3rd round off the campus at Maryland. And now he's been relegated back to the number 2 spot by Anthony Davis. But he's in there right now running with Ed Williams. 3rd down play for Huff. Out of the backfield to Carter. Oh, he can't hold it. Lewis Carter looking upfield. He had plenty of running room. He might have made a 1st down. He's made at least 7 or 8 yards. He could not hang on to it, and there's another example, John, where they need handles again. The NBA on CBS returns on October 28th with a rematch of last year's exciting championship series with the Philadelphia 76ers going against the defending champion Portland Trail Blazers. That's October 28th, 11:30 p.m. The NBA. That was the first punt for Tampa Bay coming up right here. Largent is back, or rather Walter Packer's back for Seattle. And here's the kick away by Dave Green. Floating kick, backing up. Packer takes on the 20. Good punt. Walter Packer, good coverage down there by Tampa Bay, and they take him down on the 23-yard line. Leading that charge was Bonas and Paul Harris. So when we come back, Seattle will have the ball, leading 14-6. Well, there's the latest in tonsorial splendor.
I'd like to look into that crystal ball and see what's in his mind. That's Coach Tom Bass on the sideline for the Buccaneers. Hey, Jim, so far, Sherman Smith is the only back who's carried the football for the Seahawks. He has 10 tries at 40 yards.
Well, Jack Patera believes you got a good thing. Keep it going. That's Smith on the tailback right here on 1st down. And that's Smith again. Tries the middle break through 30, 35, 40-yard line goes Sherman Smith. And what a first half he's having for Seattle. Mark Cotney and Dave Lewis on the stop for Tampa Bay. Watch Smith.
Take a look at some of the blocking up front for Smith there as he takes it off the I formation. Goes right up the middle. Excellent blocking at the point of attack. And it's just a matter of a foot race from here on out. 16 yards on that carry. So he has 11 attempts for 56 yards, and he's the workhorse this afternoon for the Seattle Seahawks.
1st down for the Seahawks at their own 41. They lead in the ball game 14-6. Fire back. Here's another man taking a handoff, and that's David Sims. The first time it has not been Sherman Smith on the handoff, and Sims on a little off-tackle sweep stopped by Dave Lewis in the neighborhood of the 45. They put it down on the 44, gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. David Sims, rookie from Georgia Tech. Here's the score. The Dodgers, trying to stay alive in the World Series, scored in the 1st inning. Well, the Yankees have been something since they came west.
Been outstanding with the bat and on field. The pitching has been real good for them.
Guidry with a great game yesterday, and Torres just as outstanding in the game before. Taking down play. Back is Meyer setting up a little screen. He tosses it to Smith. 45, trying to get the midfield. Taken out of bounds short of the 1st down by Jarris White, a left corner linebacker for Tampa Bay. It will not be a 1st down. It's going to make it a 3rd down call now for Steve Meyer, who's filling in for Jim Zorn, who, by the way, is going to be Johnny Unitas' halftime guest. So it'll be interesting to hear from this young man, one of the most exciting rookie players of the NFL a year ago. There's Jack Patera, who, by the way, once played for John McKay when he was at Oregon.
McKay, Smiley, he's getting looks like Bud Grant up there.
Need about a yard and a half. Little option play, and they pitch it out to Sims. Gets away from him on 1st down. 45, 42-yard line goes David Sims. Thought he might be trapped behind the line of scrimmage. Cedric Brown finally made the stop on him, but somebody over there either Cecil Johnson, I think, had a shot at him behind the line of scrimmage.
Cecil Johnson is right. Cecil could not get a hand on him as he went around the outside. Cecil looked like he had him boxed in, but had enough speed to get outside to pick up that first down.
1st and 10 at the Tampa Bay 42, and thus far in this match of the Seattle offense and the Tampa Bay defense, Seattle has been the winner. And the score reflected 14-6. Myers goes out of the backfield, and he cannot hit his tight end, Ron Howard. Howard trying to get off on the right flat. The ball was thrown a little bit wide. Dave Lewis on the stop.
Seattle is going through the quick type passes on the tight end diagonal to the outside and a quick slant, not giving the Tampa Bay defensive line enough time to get in and to get some sacks. They have been, the offensive line has been protecting Meyer fairly well back there. Again, you know that Buccaneer line is a good one, and they're trying to get back there as best they can.
A little play action, and a pitch out to Sims. Sims cutting back, 35, and stopped short of the first down the 33-yard line. Mark Cotney, the strong safety. Well, this game is being played almost completely free of any penalty. I think we've had one penalty thus far.
Last year we had 35, I believe, in the same ball game. So you can see that the players have grown quite a bit.
And you'll see here something to remember. Watch for Logan's Run, the intergalactic adventure series that hits with the impact of Star Wars. Monday nights at 8. Tomorrow, a mighty battle looms for the control of the Star World. 3rd down and 2, and a key play in this drive now for Seattle, Steve Meyer. Meyer fakes, goes down to Largent. He's got the first down inside the 30. Largent will curl in from his wide spot. Mike Washington made the style of that guy's tough to cover.
He is. He's a fine receiver. He has some real good moves. Let's take a look at Largent on this play. Just a quick slant to the inside, as we mentioned earlier. Quick stuff trying to get the offensive line into the defensive line to get their hands down. And Largent takes a pretty good sharp on that particular play. We have an injury on Dufay, who hurt his knee, and he's probably out for the remainder of the game, Jim. So that'd be a tough break for the Seahawks.
Well, Danny Reeves has come in. Reeves is in place. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. We'll check that for you when we go back to defense. Reeves is in here for Tampa Bay. Up the middle. Try it again. Dave Pear made the stop this time on David Sims. They're giving Smith a rest, but I see now Smith coming back on the field. It'll be 2nd down, about 6-7 yards to go. There's John McKay having a word. They have those great teams at Southern California, 4 national champions, and he's always been a believer in running the football. So he wants to establish a ground game here with his professional team. Sims has now picked up 23 yards and 4 carries. Meyer right straight back looking. Meyer, a little screen off the right side to Ferguson. Ferguson going across the grain, 25-20. Penalty flag is down. 10-yard line. Ferguson out of bounds, but it may be called back. Penalty flag is dropped. Mike Washington giving chase over there to the very elusive Duke Ferguson, and he showed some footwork in that one.
Ferguson has some good speed, as we see on this play, but I believe we have a holding penalty against the Seahawks. As you see, the ball being thrown to Ferguson. Now he cuts back against the grain, picks up some fine blockers, and goes out on a 10-yard line, but to no avail as we have a penalty on the Seahawks.
All right, let's listen right here to Fred Silver.
63 offense, holding.
Nick Bebout, the old stock car driving fellow from Wyoming.
And Nick's supposed to be one of the best offensive blockers for the Seahawk football team. He was a pretty good player when he was with the Atlanta Falcons, I believe. And one of his problems was the fact that he had a tendency to grab a jersey or two.
There are those that get caught for holding and those that get away with it.
That's exactly right.
That time Nick was caught. 2nd down for Seattle, about 17 yards to go. Here's a fake screen. Now screen to the right side, and they hit Benjamin. Tony Benjamin from Duke inside the 30. Lunges on close to the 26. Richard Wood made the stop, and Benjamin in his first year had to do a little of that on his own. That was a fake screen to the left and then a screen to the right. Seattle will not hesitate to go down in the barrel of tricks. And with Zorn in there, they were really explosive, but I got to say that Meyer has been very impressive today.
Meyer's doing an excellent job. They see a shot with A.D. Anthony Davis on the sideline, not feeling too well at this point, but Steve Meyer has been doing an excellent job, I think, calling the plays. Of course, they're coming down from Jerry Rome, but executing them and getting his people up and doing an excellent job. The offensive line has really been taking it to the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have not been getting off the ball as well as they usually do.
They just pulled a tight end and put in an extra wide receiver in Sam McCullum. That Myers is going to go to the air. He's got an extra wide receiver, and he's going downfield, and it is intercepted at the 5-yard line by Tampa Bay's Darius White. White over the 20, 30, and White pounded out of bounds by number 73, Norm Evans. But an interception by Tampa Bay, and for the 14th time this year, Seattle passers have been intercepted.
There's the throw by Meyer. As you see, he's overthrown, tipped up, and Darius White picks up the interception and brings it back. Meyer at that point was 7-11 for 69 yards, a 25-yard return.
Gary Huff in the quarterback, and Johnny Unitas, I'll say this, if he wears number 19, he's got to be a pretty good passer.
It doesn't make them all bad, does it?
Johnny Unitas, number 19, was retired last week at Baltimore, and John, I think it was a great ceremony, and congratulations to you, but certainly deserved.
It was a wonderful day for me and the Martin family and everyone combined, even Baltimore, since they beat Miami.
That was a handoff to Anthony Davis, goes up to the 35-yard line. Dennis Floyd made the stop. Well, after all those thousands and thousands of yards and many touchdowns, I'll never forget you in Baltimore, John, or anywhere else pro football is played. So number 19 will never be worn again at Baltimore. And coincidentally being worn here today by Gary Huff of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Second down and 6 he faces at his own 35. Huff looking. Quick out to the sideline. Grabbed over by McKay. Nope, that is Owens. Morris Owens. At the 40 will not be a first down. Freddie McMillan. The only man, by the way, who's playing the... and score the touchdown in this game against Seattle, which was played in Tampa. 30-yard, a big play. They give it to Williams, and he's got the first down. Good opening, wide over left tackle. Dave Revis goes in over the 40 to about the 42. Sammy Green smacked him back. Boy, that Green 56 is going to be a great one. University of Florida. Watch the open.
Let's watch a good offensive blocking up front there by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As you see, Williams picking the hole, picking up the first down. He has great leg drive, that young man does. I remember when they played Baltimore, talking to Laird, who was a safety, just tackling him. He'd like just about pulls your fingers out of the joint trying to hold on to it.
We'll have a run down the scores of all the other games at halftime. Now it's first down here for Tampa Bay at the 42. Up plenty of time this time. Oh, nice. Suddenly caught and fires incomplete. Ed Williams was there. Ron East was putting on the pressure. He had a lot of time, but they must have been doing a good job downfield coverage.
He did have an awful lot of time, and I don't know why he was rolling out of the pocket, because he really didn't have much pressure. Quarterback starts doing that, he gets himself into his own trouble. And he was very fortunate to be able to get rid of that football. So far, Huff is 3 for 18 for 13 yards. 3 for 8, rather, for 13 yards. And when he gets chased out of that pocket, it's very infrequently that you're able to come back and complete that pass, especially like he tried to there.
Draw play on second and 10 to Williams. Ed Williams over the 45. He's going to go about 4 yards on the play. Ken Geddes making the tackle for Seattle. And it'll be down there right on the 42-yard line. It'll bring up third down, and you see some defensive changes now on the line for Seattle. Horace Jones and Alden Roche come in at the defensive ends, replacing Bob Lertzema and Richard Harris. Now Lertzema is going to come back on, replacing Dennis Boyd, and Boyd, the rookie, will go out. So specialist changes made here by Jack Patera on third down, about 6 to go for Tampa Bay. Big play for Huff. Huff goes to sidelines to Owens. He's got it for first down around the 45-yard line. Eddie McMillan covering, but a beautiful cut down there by Morris Owens, number 85.
That was a fine throw by Huff as well. And it's look at the protection, and the game was played by Seattle, but the protection was picked up. Very good throw, right on the money. As we see, it's a first down for the Buccaneers.
Clock shows 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. And now we go into this down toward the 2-minute drill for Gary Huff, trying to pick up a touchdown here before time runs out in the first half. Anthony Davis on a sweep left. Davis to 40. Davis to the 38-yard line. Spilled there by David Brown, the right corner linebacker from Seattle. He was a #1 draft pick at Pittsburgh a couple of years ago. Jack Patera was quick to taping in the relocation draft a year ago. Going to have the 2-minute warning right here with Seattle in the lead, 14-6. Otto Graham to Stabler. There's never been a man run the 2-minute drill like Johnny. So John, step in the huddle here and tell us what Gary Huff faces with 2 minutes to go and about 38 yards.
Well, he's got 2 minutes to go, and he's going to have to call his 2 plays in the huddle, especially if they're passes, or 1 run play and a second play of pass, and then be ready to come back and get on the line of scrimmage again, or huddle up and take a timeout, and you come back in the huddle and call 2 more after that. He's got a pass play here.
Down the sidelines, and is coming across is Owens. A nice pattern, Johnny. Brought him all the way across field through the zone of the 20-yard line.
All right, now he's got to be careful. His clock is still running. It was a fine pass by Huff. They're lining up in the huddle again. Time is still not called. Now he's called timeout, 1 minute 37 seconds. Now what he has to do at this point, Jim, is he has to call 2 plays in the huddle, or 1 running play, and then just line up on the line of scrimmage and throw the ball away if he wants to. But basically, he should call 2 plays, and then if they're both passes, if they're completed, call a timeout again. If it's not completed, then the clock automatically stops and he's got to huddle right back up.
All right, minute 37 seconds to go, and next Saturday on CBS Sports Spectacular, we're going to have 4 exciting events for you as heavyweights Leon Spinks faces Scott Lideau. Light heavyweight Michael Spinks meets Gary Summerhays, the Canadian champion, and heavyweight Bernardo Machado faces New York champion Greg Johnson, followed by the world's strongest men competition next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Right here with a minute and 30 seconds to go, we've got Johnny Unitas running the 2-minute drill for us as Tampa Bay trying to beat the clock. And with his team trailing by 14-6.
One thing he has to be concerned about has to do with the rest of his players. If the ball is complete, they're going to have to try to get out of bounds as quickly as possible. Right now, the clock does not start until the snap of the football. So let's watch and see what he's going to pull out of his pocket here.
Going to run a running play with Dubose, trying to catch him napping at the 15-yard line. Now he's going to use another timeout, John. Is that what you would have done?
No, I wouldn't have done that. I would have been lining right up on the line of scrimmage here and gone with another play. It's 2nd down and 5 yards to go now. He did not need to take that second timeout. He's going to have to remember right now to hold his last timeout in order to try for the field goal if they do not get in.
Ball's at the 15-yard line. A touchdown, of course, would cut the lead down to only 1 point, provided, of course, they add the point after, and that would be a big psychological boost here for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who've yet to score a touchdown from scrimmage this year with his offensive unit. The only touchdown was scored by the linebacker Richard Wood, who picked up a fumble and ran it at 37 yards against the Cowboys. There's the story as we have another timeout following here. You're going to see 60 minutes followed by Rhoda and then on her own, and I wonder what will happen to Archie tonight and all of the family, because they've got a special hour presentation at 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Now, Archie could get in some trouble, but we're followed by my lollipop sucker, Mr. Kojak, at 10 o'clock.
He'll get old Archie out of trouble, I'm sure, or maybe put him in more. Right here, Seattle back to the wall as Tampa Bay is driving at the 15-yard line with 1 minute 31 seconds to go. The Buccaneers have 1 timeout remaining.
He's got to be concerned here now, Jim, to try to pick up that first down if it's possible, or go for the touchdown. If no one is open, and then just throw the ball away, throw it out of bounds, and stop the clock.
2 wide receivers to the right. He's going to the right, and he's hit his man over there, but he can't get out of bounds. That was McKay. Autry Beeman made the stop.
Now he's got to get on the line of scrimmage and go with a play call there. He still has 1:18 left, so it's no big problem. There's the throw by Huff to Beeman. Fine catch, but now he should have started to go to right out of bounds right there. Morris Owens, number 85, on reception, should have gone back right out of bounds to stop that clock with 1 minute and 1 second left to play right now.
Going to the end zone. It is caught out of bounds down there by Owens. Morris Owens caught it at the 1-yard line, and John, that's just the way you would have done it.
It was an outstanding throw by Gary Huff, an outstanding catch. Here it is again. Let's take a look at it. Let's watch the protection here. Huff has to move to his right a little bit with a little bit of pressure. There's the throw. Watch the catch by Owens, and watch the footwork to stay in bounds. 1-2, out of bounds, stop the clock, 56 seconds.
Well, now I say you've made a pretty good drive.
So he's done a real fine job so far. Now he's got to be understand that he has 56 seconds, only 1 timeout left, and I'm sure that they'll try to get in or on the ground.
And it's a fake. Carter, end zone, can't hold it. That was intended in there for tight end, I believe, Butler. Gary Butler, who's been injured. A tight end couldn't hold it. But that does the job in stopping the clock.
There's a good look at Huff. He's upset. I think he's upset with himself because he overthrew Butler. Butler was open, and Huff threw off balance, did not get the ball to him, and I'm sure he's quite upset for not getting the ball to Butler because he was standing right there in the end zone.
We saw 28 Anthony Davis return to the lineup. He's in there now with Jimmy Dubois. That's Davis. Davis looking for the end zone. Davis cuts. He's got a touchdown for Tampa Bay. Anthony Davis right over the corner to score, and a beautiful drive against the clock.
That was the first touchdown for Tampa Bay this whole season, so I know they're happy about that. They've broken the jinx. They got the touchdown, the first one for Tampa Bay so far. And it was a fine drive by Gary Huff, and it was a fine run there by Anthony Davis to get in. Here it is. Take a look at him. Getting a second effort, getting across that goal line by A.D.
He beat Autry Beeman, who had replaced Don Dufek, the injured strong safety. As the first touchdown score with the offense, John. Remember the one that was by Wood on the return on the defense, but that's the first one by the offensive unit. Now this could cut the lead down to 1 point. And there's the boot up by Levitt, and he's got it for Tampa Bay, and the Buccaneers are pulled back within 1 with 47 seconds to go in the first half. It's now a 14-13 ball game. And having worked both these bowl games, John, I'll tell you that Expansion Bowl 2 is a much more exciting game.
It's a much more exciting game than I thought it would be. I tell you, they're doing an excellent job. Both teams maintaining control of the football on the ground, throwing when they have to. And I think that was a fine drive that the Buccaneers had that time. For one principal reason, they scored a touchdown, the first offensive touchdown this season. And secondly, it has given the defense some time to sit on the bench and regroup.
All right, I think we're going to see a very exciting second half. You saw the figures there on the scoring drive by Tampa Bay, and it was engineered against under the clock by Gary Huff. And now here's the rookie Levitt, who will kick off. Alan Levitt, rookie from Georgia, and Al Hunter and Walter Packer are back deep. There was Hunter on the left, and it's a bounding kick along the ground. Gets taken by Sherman Smith at the 25. Smith at the 35, the 40. Needed one more block, and he kills the clock very alertly at the 45-yard line. And now Seattle's got a chance here with this field position and 41 seconds to go. And John Unitas did a good job in describing the 2-minute drill a moment ago for Tampa Bay, but now Seattle's faced with a similar situation here.
Well, now Seattle, if they get one first down, they can be in position for the field goal. Leipold has hit one from 55 yards in preseason, and he's hit another one from 50 yards in preseason, but his longest so far this season has been around 48 yards.
Ad Wyman also had a 48-yarder last year. But Myers shown his passing powers up the middle, and he has got his man Testerman, the fullback, at the midfield stripe. He's into Tampa Bay territory at the 47, And Tampa Bay, with timeouts remaining, used one of them right here to kill the clock. Mike Lemon made the stop. I think that's the first Tampa Bay timeout, so they'll have 2 to go.
They have 2 to go. Now, he's got to be concerned about the same thing that Gary Huff was. There you see Meyer and Jack Patera conversing on the sideline. And he has got to be concerned about the timeouts. You want to keep that last timeout for the field goal if they get close enough. If he's going to put the ball up in the air, then he's going to have to call 2 plays in the huddle. If the first one is not complete, then he can come back to the huddle and call 2 more. Now, he's getting his plays, I'm sure, from Jerry Rome from upstairs, so it's very difficult for a quarterback, especially when they send the plays in, to be running a 2-minute offense.
Of course, you know the man to watch. We'll check the defenses here too, John. I'll ask you to do that to see if they're going to double team Steve Largent, because Largent has been their home run man. You're seeing some scores of other games, and we'll bring you up to date on all the other NFL games at halftime here today. We also plan to have Jim Zorn as our halftime guest. Zorn, who was voted NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year by the NFL players last season. 30 seconds to go, and Steve Meyer, who was drafted on the 4th round last year by Seattle from the University of New Mexico as a backup for Jim Zorn. Zorn taken in as a free agent from Dallas. As a matter of fact, at that time, they had no idea who the Seattle quarterback might be. Zorn came out of the preseason, won the job, and Meyer has been more or less the opposing quarterback throughout his career. He's always played Fran Tarkenton or Bill Kilmer or somebody like that, and now he's forced to play Steve Meyer, and today he's done a brilliant job in that role. Second down, about 2. Meyer on second down, racing the clock with 28 seconds to go. Meyer up the middle, he fights Testament. A throw back, and he's going to be taken down viciously. He gets the first down, but they'll kill the clock again. Richard Wood on the stop as Don Testament makes his second straight catch. Second-year fullback from Clemson University. They're spotted on the 44. There'll be a first down, but with 20 seconds to go. Boy, how you guys can cram so many plays in so little time.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, now he's got to be concerned again. You know, with one timeout left, and that's when he's going to have to save for that field goal. I look for him to go downfield, try to get downfield for maybe about a 15 or 20-yard throw to get the ball closer, and then call that timeout and let Leopold come in and kick the field goal. Right now, I don't know whether they'll let you try a field goal from the position they're in now. They certainly don't have anything to lose if they do it. But I would like to, I think that they would try to get maybe 10 or 15 more yards downfield and look for a pass maybe coming across the middle and then getting down real quick.
All right, following the game, you'll see on CBS 60 Minutes, followed by Rhoda, On Our Own, and All in the Family with a special hour presentation tonight because of Edith's 50th birthday. Alice will not be seen. And then our man, Kojak, calls the plays starting from 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Seattle battling back. Tampa Bay made an excellent drive under the clock. And now here's Seattle trying to get back to get at least a field goal from it. Jack Patera. Isn't it strange, Johnny, that Tampa Bay, with an offensive coach like McKay, gets a defensive team, and Jack Patera, noted for his defense, he helped develop the Purple People Eaters and the Fearsome Foursome, and now he's got an offensive team.
The offensive team's moving well, too. I'm sure they missed their young quarterback, Jim Zorn, but I think that they should be very proud of the way Steve Meyer is handling himself out there this afternoon. They're going to try to get out of bounds with this play possibly, but they have one timeout that they have to save for the field goal kicker.
Fake draw, and now here's Myers being run out of the pocket. He fires downfield, and it is caught by the tight end, but it will not count. It was juggled by McCullum. Sam McCullum, who was playing a tight end post, cutting across underneath the zone, juggled the ball. You got to have possession of it. You watch him juggle it.
There it is right here. Take a look at the rush coming in. He really was not forced out of the pocket. He's just doing this on his own, probably trying to get more time to throw and to break someone open, a la Fran Tarkenton type style. There you see the catch. 1 foot did go out. McCullum making a fine catch, but was too close to the sidelines to stay in. Be interesting to see now what he comes up with on this play with the same knowledge that he has 13 seconds left in which to get a touchdown or the field goal.
13 seconds to go. Sideline pass. He's got the tight end. Howard's getting all he can, and Alabama was a smart play down to 33. But that'll mean a 50-yard attempt if they want to go now with 7 seconds to go. Mark Cotney made the stop. Still got the timeout.
They have a timeout to go yet. They're still on. They're on a first down situation. they can get a little closer yet. I imagine they may come back to that same play and try to get the ball out of bounds as quickly as possible.
Ron Howard, who caught 8 passes in the initial game for the Seahawks, didn't catch his first touchdown pass until this year, but just made a clutch catch there. 7 seconds to go. Clock is rolling. Here's Meyer up the middle to Smith, and now they immediately call timeout with 2 seconds to go. And, John, they picked up 3 yards, and that could be the difference.
That could be the difference in a field goal or not a field goal. Leipold coming in now to try the field goal. And was not a bad call at all. We picked up an extra 3 yards, and the call before that, of course, went out of bounds to stop the clock.
That's going to be about a 46-yard or 45-yard try, maybe 44 for Leipold, and that's certainly within his range. He's hit him from 48 in regular season and 55 in preseason. Paul Krause has thrown a touchdown pass. I got to hear more about that.
That's right there. I don't know whether it's true or not.
43-yard attempt by John Leipold for Seattle. Oh, it's plenty long enough. Seattle beats the clock also, and an exciting first half today at the Kingdome. The kick is good. And the Seahawks lead the field now with a 4-point lead and a little more breathing room. 17-13, Seattle over Tampa Bay, and the offensive fireworks we've seen today.
Jim, it was a fine first half for both teams showing some offense, and especially for Tampa Bay, an offense that they haven't had all season long. And I know that Coach McKay's happy about that, and the people back in Tampa are happy about that. And so I think we're going to be looking for a real fine second half coming out with a little bit more offense on both teams' part.
And a 4-point lead by the Seahawks. Last second field goal as the first half ended. We'll start off the second half. And last week, as John Unitas pointed out in the first half, Leipold did not get in the ball game. His team won the toss, elected to receive to start the game. The opposing team, New England, decided to take the goal and to start the second half, so they kicked off again. Seattle was shut out, and Leipold did again. There are the deep men back for Tampa Bay. Ike Higgins and Anthony Davis. Danny Reese is also back on the goal line. It's Reese back with Higgins. Second half now gets underway from Seattle. Seattle in the lead 17-13. And there is Higgins up to 5. Ike Higgins. And can move to get through there, and he's over the 35 and collared at about the 36 or 37-yard line. Making the stop was Charles McShane for the Seahawks, and it's Tampa Bay's ball as the second half starts from their own 36-yard line, a 32-yard return by Big Ike, as they call him, Ike Higgins, 5'9", 180 soaking wet.
Yeah, both of these teams have had excellent field position most of the afternoon on the kickoff and punt return. So they haven't really started back. They have not been backed up into their goal line, either one of them.
Morris Owens going through the backfield to give him the tailback. Here's Davis dancing through 40. Anthony Davis over the midfield looking for a block to the 35, the 30, almost broke it. Autry Beeman making the stop, and that could be the longest run of the year for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it was Anthony A.D. Davis setting sail.
Let's take a look at the offensive blocking up front for Davis. You see him breaking through the line, now cutting back to his outside. That was a 30-yard run by Davis, and Davis going down the sideline, looking for somewhere to break back and looking for someone to help him. A fine run by Anthony Davis, and he made a long run like that last week too, I believe, a 30-yard run.
Now in the territory of Seattle, driving is Jimmy Dubose. The Florida star stopped by Terry Beeson, a rookie middle linebacker, and Steve Priest, the free safety. Dubose, who was voted SEC Player of the Year with the Florida Gators, and his second year was drafted second round last year by the Buccaneers, had picked up 49 yards coming into this game, and has just put Tampa Bay into a 2nd and 4 at the 23. There's DuBose again on a slant off right tackle, stop short of the first down. Dave Brown, the right corner linebacker, at the 21 met the play, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 now for Gary Huff. I tell you, it would give Tampa Bay quite a psychological boost here to come down and march and score to start the second half.
It really would, and they've been moving the football. It's a tough call here, 3rd and 2. What do you see, the pass or run situation? And we'll wait to see what they decide to do. It was going to go wide with it as he cuts back and picks up the first down, I believe, Jim.
That's Lewis Carter on a cutback from tailback. Dennis Boyd met him, but it's inside the 20, and it's first down. Tampa Bay, Lewis Carter, the Maryland star, leading ground gainer a year ago, and he got it down to the 18-yard line. So Tampa Bay continues to drive. Back in is Anthony Davis replacing Carter at running back for Tampa Bay. The other running back is DuBose. Ed Williams is not playing, and Ricky Bell is not playing today either. He's still hobbled a little bit. Wide to the right is Morris Owens in motion. Back is Huff, gives the tailback Davis, tries the middle, finds some room, and on his own just picks his way to the 11-yard line. Autry Beeman and Steve Priest in the secondary make the stop. But little Davis shows some balance and power.
Watch the offensive line as you see Davis taking the ball, going off his right side, and he sort of slides along his blockers. Not really making a hole, but sliding and going to the open spot, running to the daylight. Fine run by A.D., and the offensive line now is taking it to the defensive line of the Seahawks.
Ike Higgins has come in replacing John McKay. He is split out to the left side. They give it to DuBose, who's hit at the line, keeps going. Good individual effort by DuBose, puts him on the 8-yard line. Dennis Boyd and Terry Beeson finally. But number 35, Jimmy DuBose, who was hit behind the line of scrimmage, held his feet and drove on forward to pick up some precious yardage. Maybe enough for a first down. They're going to call in the change to measure and see. If it is, it'll be 1st and goal for Tampa Bay and a golden opportunity for the Buccaneers to break on top to start the second half. They're trailing by 4 points. Huff thinks it is a first down. Let's see. It is. First down and goal to go for Tampa Bay at the Seattle 8-yard line.
Yeah, Tampa's on the verge of scoring their second offensive touchdown this afternoon. We'll see what they're going to come up with. The last play, DuBose ran into Steve Wilson, one of his offensive guard, who was not quick enough to get out of the way. That's what actually stopped him.
Well, Anthony Davis, the tailback. Horace Jones is coming to the defense. The goal line defense for Seattle. Up to Davis. Anthony Davis left side, cutting back, and he is spilled about the 6 by Autry Beeman. Good defensive tackle by the 3rd-year player from East Texas State. Gain is only about a yard, maybe 2. They put it at the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal to go from that point. Boy, the Buccaneers would like to run it right down your throat here, and how they would like to have Ricky Bell. That's the backfield that John McKay wanted from his own Southern California team, Ricky Bell and Anthony Davis. And Bell is still hobbling. 2nd down and goal. The fullback, Ed Williams, inside the 5. Stopped on the 3 by Horace Jones. And Horace Jones comes from the University of Louisville.
Yes, Horace played a long time with the Oakland Raiders. He is a fine football player, tough, and he usually put him in there when he needs some good pass rush. He's a hard-nosed player. It's a tough call coming up now. 3rd and goal for the Buccaneers. And let's see what Billy sends down from the press box.
Yep, this is a big play. 3rd down and goal from the 3. And it is Huff looking to the end zone. Got time. Fires it. It'll be incomplete, and interference may be called. Now, let's see. Now, I think they ruled there that the receiver had gone out of bounds and then come back in, which would have been an illegal receiver anyway.
That's right. He couldn't touch the football or even try to catch it. He's got great protection here for Huff. He's looking to the left side. He keeps looking. Let's look at the protection. No one's even bothered, and then he decides to throw the football away. Fine play. Rather than risk an interception, throw it into a pile, just threw the ball out of bounds. And now we have a field goal try.
Field goal by Alan Levitt, who's already kicked 2 today. That's the most he's kicked in any game thus far for the Buccaneers. He'll try for his 3rd to cut the margin back to 1 point. A try of 20 yards, and it's through there. So Levitt hits for his 3rd field goal of the contest. And we're again at a 1-point margin here in Expansion Bowl 2. Seattle 17 and Tampa Bay 16. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have opened the second half driving to score as Seattle's defense, like a rubber band, it gave but then stopped short of the goal line. The field goal cuts the margin to 1. Seattle still leads as Levitt kickoff back deep. Hunter and Packer waiting. And up is Walter Packer at the 15-yard line. 25-30. Packer down. He goes on the 32. And there Seattle will have the ball for the first time on the offense in the second half. Glenn Robinson on the stop for the Buccaneers. A 16-yard return for Walter Packer, free agent picked up from Mississippi State.
Neither one of these kickers, either from the Buccaneers or from the Seahawks, get the ball deep enough on kickoffs.
And next Saturday, you saw what we'll tell you more about Sports Spectacular in a minute. Right now, it's 1st and 10 for Seattle. Steve Meyer had a great first half, 11 for 17. Meyer back to his tailback. Sherman Smith doesn't get much. Pounding into the middle. Dave Pear puts a bear hug on him and takes him down. This is a homecoming for Pear, of course. Now, next Saturday on CBS Sports Spectacular, we'll have 4 exciting events for you. 3 boxing bouts. Heavyweights Leon Spinks faces Scott Lideau. Light heavyweight Michael Spinks meets Gary Summerhays. And heavyweight Bernardo Machado faces Greg Johnson, followed by the World's Strongest Men competition. Next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. on CBS Sports Spectacular. Second down and 7. Back to the air goes Myers. Drills it to Large a little bit behind him, a little bit low. One of the few times that Myers has been off target today. He had Large, it looked like running a little short post pattern in from his wide spot on the right.
They're still going with the same type passes, the quick ones. They do not want to let the Buccaneers get in on that quarterback. The quick slants, quick outs, same thing they hit early in the ball game to be able to move the football down the field.
Johnny, looks like the World Series will go back to New York. The Dodgers are leading now 5-0 after a home run by Steve Yeager. Third down play for Meyer. Meyer fakes the screen. Now he's flipping a little screen to Testament. Away from one tackler at the 35. Will not get the first down, though. He's collared on the 38 by Mark Cotney, the strong safety of Tampa Bay. So Cotney makes the stop to bring up a punting play. And Tampa Bay is going to get the ball, trailing by just 1 point. And we're still only midway in the third period. So this one's far from being decided. It looks like it's going to settle down to an exciting game throughout. Back to punt is Herman Weaver. Had one last week of 59 yards. You got a quick look there of Danny Reese. Standing in single set. 10 men along the line, and Tampa Bay is going to try to get through, but good protection. And it's boomed away for Weaver. Over goes Reese. He lets it down and takes a Seattle kick inside the 20. Rolls down at the 18-yard line. A fine punt by Weaver that gets a good bound on the end. We'll come back. It'll be Tampa Bay's ball. They trail by 1. This is Jim Thacker with Johnny Unitas. Today's CBS coverage is from the Kingdome in Seattle, where Tampa Bay, trying to fight from behind, are back deep now at their own 17-yard line. First and 10, trailing by just 1 point as Gary Huff takes over here midway in the third period. Owens in motion. Up to his fullback, Dubose, tracking through. Good little opening. Penalty flag is thrown at the 20-yard line. Ken Geddes made the stop. This game has been almost completely free of penalties. We've had 1 or 2. This looks like holding here against the Tampa Bay. So this is going to be costly for the Buccaneers, who came out scored to start the second half, but we'll get the penalty in a minute. It's going to set them back if they take it. Bob Lurtzema, defensive captain on the field for Seattle. Bench warmer Bob, they called him up in Minnesota. Picked up on waivers here for the Seahawks as they came in the league. Now listen.
75. Holding.
Dave Revis from the Steelers. The left tackle from the University of Arkansas, number 75. There he is in the huddle for Tampa Bay. Well, now the Buccaneers are back inside their 10 at the 9-yard line. You know, they've gotten over this sacking problem, John Unitas. Team has been sacked 19 times coming into today, and I don't think they've caught Huff, have they?
No, Seattle has only 2 sacks for the whole year, so they have not been catching too many quarterbacks.
They canceled out that statistic.
That's half the problem. They've given up 126 points, only had 2 sacks.
Dubose almost got free. Oh, a good shoestring tackle in the middle by Lertzema. Number 70 tripped up Jimmy Dubose. On a quick handoff from fullback, he did get out to the 14-yard line for a 5-yard gain. Picked up part of that penalty yardage. Now it's 2nd down and 14, or 2nd and 13. 2nd down and 13. Calls the 14-yard line. Tampa Bay trailing by a point. Huff's going to go in the air, back deep inside his 5. Up the wide open up there. Owens can't hold it. Oh, he was coming across. Owens was there. He should have had it.
That was just a poor reception by Owens. He tried to catch that ball one-handed, and he had plenty of room and no problem at all. It's just, look here, as a little play action pass by Huff as he sets, fine protection. There's a throw. Look at the one hand trying to catch with it. What was wrong with the other hand? Is it hurt?
It might have been just a little bit wide, but it was. I agree with you, Johnny. It certainly was catchable.
It sure
and
was.
Owens is on the sidelines now as Ike Higgins is coming to replace him. Higgins wide right. And here's Huff on 3rd down, back to his own 3 again. Going down the sidelines is intercepted by Tampa Bay. Grabbed by Autry Beeman. Tampa Bay pass, intercepted by Seattle. Correction, Autry Beeman on the grab, number 27.
Good protection for Huff again. Just a bad judgment on Huff's part. He threw the ball out there, and the closest man to it was the defensive man, Beeman. As you see right there, overthrow. Fine reception by Beeman. Interception.
He was trying to go to Larry Mucker. Now Seattle, let's see if they can cash in on the turnover. 1st down at the Tampa Bay 32. Steve Meyer going back to his tailback. Sherman Smith. And Smith will get at most a yard at the 31. He's hit on a crunching tackle by Dave Lewis. And Dewey Selman. Is Selman back in there? Yep. Dewey Selman is back in. He's playing the strong inside linebacking post. He was shaken up in the first half. So that's good news for Tampa Bay as John McKay trying to get his team organized here. They need that defense that's been so strong for them through the first 4 games to assert itself now. Little fake in the backfield and cracking through beautifully is Sims. All right, there's some good faking back there by the Myers. The 2nd man, Sims, had running room. Cedric Brown making a stop, but it'll be a 1st down.
What a hole for the offensive lineman up there. Look at those 2 guys just clear the whole area out. Outstanding call and a fine blocking by his offensive lineman. And now it's just the momentum has switched back to the Seahawks.
That's an 11-yard run by David Sims, and Sherman Smith comes right back in to replace him at tailback. But Sims and Testerman, who's been used primarily as a blocker today behind Steve Meyer. 1st down for the Seahawks. They give it this time to Smith, moving to his left. Smith goes outside, 15. Smith the 10, inside the 10 to the 8. Sherman Smith, having a good day carrying the football for the Seattle Seahawks, has put it inside the Tampa Bay 10-yard line, and right now the interception looms very big against Tampa Bay.
Gained the 13 yards on that play, and Coder, number 60, threw an outstanding block to free the ball carrier, which enabled him to get down to the 8-yard line, or the 6-yard line.
David Sims has returned to the lineup, replacing Sherman Smith. So it's Sims and Testament now behind Myers. They're in a split backfield. We'll see if Myers wants to go to the area. He has Larson on his left. Up, they give it up the middle to Testament. Testament driving inside the 5 to the 2. Cedric Brown hauled him down, but Testament is very strong at 235 pounds, 6'2".
Take a look at it right here as Testament comes in. We have a missed tackle back in the backfield there. Right in there, a missed tackle, which very seldom would ever happen. And Testament, of course, keeps going. It's the first rush of the game for Testament. Has good power, a good leg drive.
Now Seattle threatening to add to its lead, up by 1 point. It is 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. Sims and Testament behind Myers. They give it to Sims, going to the left side. A good defensive play over by Washington. Mike Washington refused to have that corner turn. He diagnosed the play and made a good move toward the ball carrier and a sure-handed open field tackle.
That's when you want to hang on for dear life. As we see Mike Washington coming in, a one-on-one tackle, and this is what a good defensive back has to be able to do. Hang on and bring him down. Ride him, cowboy.
And it sets up a passing situation perhaps for Steve Meyer, who was sensational in the first half, 11 for 17, 98 yards. Now he's third and goal from the 4-yard line. He's got everybody in tight, including Largent. Here comes Testament out in motion. Here's Myers back on the play-action fake. Now he's looking over the left side to Largent. He can't get it there. Overthrown to Steve Largent, who may have looked over the wrong shoulder.
Well, that was a tricky play coming up. Largent was really open quicker than Meyer was ready to throw. The defensive safety was late getting over to cover Largent, who went behind the line of scrimmage, standing there, but Meyer overthrew him. And now we have a field goal try.
Yep, John Leipold, who's been in there before today, 17 to 16 the score. Leipold will try this one from about 21 yards. Looks like the kickers are going to finally decide this one before it's at the end. Leipold's shot is through there, or is it? No, it is outside. Leipold misses from right in front, and Seattle has missed a golden opportunity to score. Tampa Bay will get it at the 20, trailing by a point. Next Sunday, CBS Sports presents regional NFL action with Dallas taking on Philadelphia. Green Bay going against Tampa Bay. The New York Giants tangling with Washington, a rematch. Atlanta clashing with Chicago. New Orleans against St. Louis, and Detroit at San Francisco. Consult your local listings for the game and times in your area. That's NFL regional action next Sunday. And right here, Tampa Bay got a break when John Leipold missed from 20 yards. That's extra point range, and so now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have it, still trailing by just a point. Tail back, and here comes Anthony Davis looking for some room that is not there. Autry Bayman moves up to help out on the play, and it stops for a short gain.
Here's the second quarter score. Dallas 14, Washington 13.
Gary Huff backs up now, looking the situation over, facing a second down and 8. Did I hear 14-13 Dallas?
14-13 Dallas. Hagen's in now. He's got a speedster in there. Maybe we ought to look for a good deep pass because he can really fly.
Ike Hagen. He's on the left. And they pitch it instead, and coming here is Williams. Ed Williams around the corner trying for the first down, and he's got it, I believe, just over the 30. Steve Priest bumps out of bounds. Ed Williams, one of the leading rushers last year, along with Lewis Carter, in the Buccaneer backfield before Ricky Bell and Anthony Davis arrived on the scene.
Hagen's that time was a very fine stand-up block on Dave Brown, the defensive corner, which really helped to make that play go. He's not only a good receiver, he's an excellent blocker as well.
John McKay comes back in on the left side, replacing Higgins. And to the right, Morris Owens. It's first down for Tampa Bay, and Huff is back on first down. Here's what you wanted, Johnny. Going on the deep one downfield, and is intercepted. Steve Priest on a sensational interception. Tampa Bay lost it again, but that was some defensive catch.
A great defensive catch by the defensive man. Let's watch the throw by Huff. The ball was thrown way back to the inside. His man was way outside. Looked like the ball slipped out of his hand. As we see, a fine interception. Excellent catch, and of course, coming back to get him before he got back up on the ground. First and 10, Seattle.
Seattle Seahawks will have the football on a spectacular interception by Steve Priest, a veteran who was acquired from the Los Angeles Rams after being released there, playing now with his 5th NFL team. He's played with the Saints, the Eagles, Denver, and Los Angeles, and what a catch he made here to give Seattle the football. First and 10 for the Seahawks at their own 33. On first down, Meyer looking. Meyer going deep downfield, and he was trying to hit Ferguson, the speedster, on a post pattern all the way down to the Tampa Bay 20.
Well, he had him open. He just overshot him. Meyer ran out of the pocket, moved up to the line of scrimmage, and just let it go. And as We take a look at Ferguson going down. Not much of a move, just plain old speed, bending back to the inside. Didn't fool anybody with it. Washington right with him. Ball was just overthrown.
Yep, no question. That was 6 points if it had been on the nose. Duke Ferguson, who runs 109.4, was with the Cowboys. Came here on the trade. Second down and 10 for Seattle at the 33. David Sims is now in the backfield with Testament. And they give it to Sims, and ooh, is he ever chilled by Leroy Selman, and how do you do? And that's why they voted him the Outland Trophy, John.
That was the best play that the defense for the Buccaneers has made all afternoon. Let's take a look at Selman as he comes in and makes the tackle. Says, good afternoon, young man. You belong to me. Thank you.
Oh, that is called ringing your bell for sure. Not only win the Outland Trophy, won the Lombardi Trophy as the outstanding football player in the country of Oklahoma. #1 draft pick a year ago. Third down play. Seattle is 4 for 8 thus far. Here's Myers back looking. Penalty flag's gone. Tampa Bay was off sides. It's thrown over the head of Ron Howard, but I think the Seahawks are going to get a reprieve here. Let's wait and see, but it appeared Tampa Bay might have jumped the gun.
Well, that's kind of tough as he comes off the ball to try to get back in time. Usually they're going to catch him. Let's see what the official has to say about it.
If it's against Tampa Bay, it'll mean Seattle gets another chance. Would bring up third down and 5. And you see Fred Silva. Now let's listen to old Fred.
Defense for 3. Offside.
Well, Leroy Selman got that hit in, John, so he want to try it again.
That may have awakened Leroy. He wanted to get the guy real quick next time.
Number 63, Leroy Selman of the Selman brothers, and 2 of them are right here, drafted a year ago by John McKay, starting to build his defense for the Buccaneers. Now it is third down, a long 5. Myers up the middle to Testament, complete for the first down of the 50-yard line. Don Testament, the fullback, stopped by Dewey Selman, but it's a midfield stripe, and the offsides is costly for the moment for Tampa Bay. It gave Seattle new life, and Steve Myers cashed in the opportunity.
Well, he stuck that ball right in Testament's belly. Let's take a look at it. Watch the fine protection that he's afforded. There's the throw. Testament right in the belly. Fine coverage by Selman, but no way to get the ball out.
Oh, he drilled it right home. David Sims now has come to the backfield, replacing Sherman Smith. It's first down for Seattle at the 50-yard line. Larson to the right, up to the left is Dick Ferguson. And play action off the fake the tailback. Myers going down the middle of the tight end. Howard, what a catch in traffic. Oh, my, Ron Howard. All over him, Cedric Brown and Jarvis White, and he still comes down with a football. They said he didn't have good hands, John Unitas, but how about this one?
That was a fine throw, but I tell you, he threw that right in the crowd. I didn't see how Howard came down with the football, but he did. He had 3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers right there. Looked like it was intercepted, but Howard came down with the football, and that's what you call wanting it better than the other man.
Oh, man, he was a basketball star here for Seattle University, and he showed that he can still go up and get a rebound. First and 10, Seattle off the long strike by Myers. They give it to Sherman Smith. Going wide, 25 to 20. Sherman Smith to the 15-yard line, and Seattle is on the drive again. It was Leroy Selman on the stop for Tampa Bay.
The Bays are being caught on that little counter play. The left side is trying to commit themselves, and then the outside end is being hooked, allowing the back to get out there. They have been very successful with that play the greater part of the afternoon.
Well, it's a mighty force here going for Seattle, and we'll remind you that 2 mighty forces war over who shall rule the star world of the 24th century in tomorrow's powerhouse adventure of Logan's Run. Watch for it 8 o'clock tomorrow. That's Logan's Run here on CBS. Well, it's another first down. For it 8 o'clock tomorrow. That's Logan's Run here on CBS. Well, it's another first down for Seattle. We saluted the Tampa Bay fans who've averaged over 58,005 home games. And here at Seattle, they have 54,783 today. And that's out of 59,500 tickets sold. So these 2 young teams in the NFL have stirred up tremendous excitement among their fans. David Sims back in the backfield for Seattle. Takes the handoff, but I think they were a little bit late getting that play off. It is the end of the third period. So the third quarter is history. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Seattle 17, Tampa Bay 16. We now pause for a word from your local station. Now into the fourth and final period. Seattle 17, Tampa Bay 16. But Seattle is threatening here at the 16-yard line of Tampa Bay. And it'll be first down and 10 to go when play gets underway. Seattle in the blue at the top of your screen and Tampa Bay in the white at the bottom. Buccaneers are back home to play Green Bay next week. Wide to the right goes Steve Rabel, and off to the left is Steve Larkin. Steve Myers, little fancy. Oh, there's a loose ball, and back to get it's the quarterback. Steve Myers, they were trying to get the tight end, Duke Ferguson, on an end around, and you see what happens.
Has a fake to the inside. It's a little bit of just a pitch to the Ferguson coming back, but the ball was pitched badly. Meyer being ever alert on the ball to recover it. A pretty good break there for the Buccaneers, knocking them out back to the 30-yard line.
Ball spotted down. That's the loss on the play of about 14 yards. And here is Meyer back, and out of the backfield, Sherman Smith. Smith cut down short of the 25. Back at the 26-yard line by Dewey Selman, number 61. The other Selman brother getting into the picture. Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, 4 exciting events as heavyweight Leon Spinks faces Scott Dodo. Look out for those Spinks brothers. Here's the other one, Michael. He won a gold medal too at Montreal. Faces Goyer Summerhays, the Canadian champion. And then heavyweight Bernardo Mercado faces Greg Johnson. Followed by the world's strongest men competition next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Tony Benjamin and David Sims now the back for Seattle. Here's Myers. Long yardage. Up the middle, he drills it, and it's caught by Benjamin around the 20-yard line. He's going to be wrestled back upfield by the man who made the tackle. That's Dewey Selman. But
excellent blocking up front by the offensive line. Dave Peart knocked off of his feet. Good protection for Steve, who completes the football. Completes the pass. Now we have Leipold on the field goal. Let's see if he can make this one. He missed that easy one the time before. Let's see what he does on this attempt.
It'll be about a 37-yard attempt by John Leipold. It's blocked. Charging in, blocking it for Seattle, for the Buccaneers. Looks like Jarris White. Jarris White, the left cornerback, got in and got a hand on the ball, and Tampa Bay will turn over. They have stayed within 1 point.
Let's watch White come in now on this block. There he's coming down the inside. A man too close down on the inside. Jarris White did get a hand on him.
Number 45. Farther south here on the Pacific Coast, the Dodgers continue to mount their lead. 8-0 now over the Yankees in the 6th inning. A win here would keep the Dodgers alive and move the World Series back to New York City for Game 6. Gary Huff now goes back to work, trailing by just 1 point. Has Anthony Davis and Ed Williams behind him. The give is to Anthony Davis. Guarding the left side, 30-yard line he goes, and is stopped there by Steve Priest, number 20. Boy, this guy is some acrobat, like a water bug he dances around.
He's running the ball very well this second half. It's actually the whole game. Fine blocking up front. Look at that shot right there to get his hit. Anthony Davis picking up some good yardage. And Tampa has yet to complete a pass in the third quarter, or even the fourth quarter. All their offense so far has been on the ground. They had 69 yards running.
The give is to the first man, Ed Williams. Plowing through he goes and bulls his way up to the 38-yard line, running right into Sammy Green at that point. But a nice gain on the play, nevertheless, of about 8 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 2 as Tampa Bay has come out moving the football here with 12 minutes to go in the game. There's the Redskins that move back ahead. So it looks like Mosley has hit one. And George Allen's boys trying to get on top there in the NFC East. That would be Dallas' first loss, but it could change again. Now side, quick out goes to McKay. He runs those routes beautifully, and it's a first down at the 46. Eddie McMillan on the stop, but a nice quick out route by John McKay. Well, he'll never forget the one he caught against Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, I guess.
He's a fine receiver. He's not a very big man either, but Gary had the ball out there and plenty of time for him to pick that one up. McKay is his first catch of this afternoon. Look at this one. The Jets 10, Miami 21 in the third period.
Yep, those old Cleveland Brown teammates against each other today there, Shula and Michael. First down play. A fumble. Gary Huff tried to scoop it up. They fight for it, and it is Seattle's ball. Sammy Green. Out of there with it is Terry Beeson, the middle linebacker. Green was also there. I guess Beeson is the man who got it, the rookie from Kansas. And that was one of the people that Seattle got in the Tony Dorsett trade. So on this one play, they didn't miss Tony, I guess.
Let's see what happens to the ball here. There it is, right, just coughed up in the air. Looked like AD tried to put the ball away. Gary Huff makes one mistake here. He tries to pick it up instead of falling on the football. Always fall on it, get it first. Don't worry about trying to pick it up and advance it.
Another costly turnover to Seattle. Inside the 40-yard line with field positions. Riding hard goes the fullback, or the tailback. Let's see, that's Tony Benjamin. It's Sherman Smith again. Richard Wood on the hit for Tampa Bay. Pickup is a couple of yards. Denver now is in position here to hand Oakland its first loss of the year and first loss in 19 games. And boy, the Denver team is for real, when you say, John.
They sure are. They have playing very, very good defensive football out there. Red Miller's team is doing very well.
Second down play. Fake inside. Now is a great blitz on by Selman. Selman is through, and he has sacked Meyer on a big defensive play. One of the big plays of this game. There haven't been that many, but there was one of them.
And that's the first sack this afternoon for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As you see, Selman just broke through. Meyer has not a thing to do but just eat the football. Best thing he can do, take the loss, try to come back and pick up some yardage after that. A fine play by Selman for the first sack for the Buccaneers, and Jack Pateri is not very happy.
What's going on here, he says. He got the football down in good position, and now he has been pushed all the way back to the 45, his team has, and it's suddenly third down, and it's 17 or 18 yards to go. Long play, Meyer buying time. Meyer going deep downfield in the end zone. There's a man, touchdown. It's Ferguson. Duke Ferguson. A sensational pass from Steve Meyer. All he had to do was catch it, which he did. And the Seahawks now have gotten some insurance with 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go. 45-yard pass play. Live pole for the point after. It's good. Lots of time left to go. 10 minutes and 42 seconds. You watch this pass play again, John.
Let's take a look at it. Steve just rolls to the outside. This is a play where just the defensive backs just lost concentration for a minute. Seeing Steve run, decided to maybe just come up.
A cardinal sin, Johnny, on that play.
It was. That play deserves another look as we see Steve rolling to his right, Steve Meyer. And there's a lack of concentration on the defensive man to let his man get behind him. You always take care of your own first and let someone else worry about the men up front. A fine throw, I might add, from Steve Meyer to Ferguson.
All right, we're back live now. And here's John Leipold in the kickoff for Seattle. It is 24-16. It's the most points given up by Tampa Bay. He booms it in the end zone. 1 yard deep. Here comes Ike Higgins. Ike Higgins, ooh, is he ever cut down on a clinching tackle by Peter Cronin, who's been the standout team of the specialty teams this year for Seattle. 238 pounds, a rookie from Boston College. And like he's led the special teams all year, he really chilled Ike Higgins. There's the scoring drive, 37 yards. In 1 minute and 12 seconds, actually after the long sack, that scoring play covered more than that.
That was the most. This is the most points that were scored this year on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
1st and 10 for the Buccaneers on the 22. Now trailing by 8. Sideline pattern. Grabbed by McKay, and he goes out of bounds around the 33. Maybe a first down. Autry Beeman making the chase from free safety. John McKay. John McKay, who played in the World Football League for the California Sun, then went into coaching, and his daddy wanted him on the expansion draft and talked him out of his job at Oregon State. The score here you saw was 24-16.
How do you say no to daddy?
Very gingerly. First down play for Gary Huff. He's going on the deep post pattern, and it's the speedster. He's got it. And it is Morris Owens. Owens may score. He is. A sensational play of 67 yards to Owens, the most explosive play of the game thus far. And Gary Huff on first down wasted no time.
Well, that's a first down throwing. Let's take a look at Gary. That's worth a second look, too. There's the throw. Excellent protection. And nothing fancy about the pattern, just going down and bending to the inside. And then it was just a matter of a foot race from there on. A 67-yard pitch and catch from Gary Huff to Owens for a touchdown.
Well, these teams are determined they're going to score a victory, both of them, and we're back in another nip and tuck battle. The point is good here by Levitt. It'll be a one-point game again. He's got it. So again, it's 1 point separating the two with 10 minutes and 17 seconds to go. One more look at this pass. A deep post, John.
Well, let's look at the protection he had. Plenty of time and an excellent throw. As you see, was nothing real fancy about the pattern. Just going down, running to his inside. Owens on a fine reception and a 67-yard run.
Now we got some Buccaneer fans, John.
All right, honey. Shake it, but don't break it. You're all right with us.
All the way with Jose Gaspar, that is. Tampa Bay back in the game. And the kickoff. Back deep waiting. Al Hunter, it's the Notre Dame star. From the 9, 20, 25, 30. Oh, how close he came to breaking it. And what a saving tackle by Paul Harris. Paul Harris, the rookie from Alabama, might have saved a touchdown there because Al Hunter runs 109.3.
And he can step it, as we see right here, cutting back off of a fine block, but a good saving tackle right there. He could have gone all the way. 25-yard return puts him in good field position on the 34-yard line.
Seattle 1st and 10. To the left, Duke Ferguson, who caught the touchdown a few minutes ago, but how quickly that turned around on the sensational pass by Tampa Bay. This is Sherman Smith cutting back. Over the 35, 40, 41. Oh, he has got a sudden burst of power once he gets through the hole. Counsel Rudolph making the stop. Sherman Smith was a option quarterback in college. They thought he'd be a fine receiver, so they drafted him as a receiver, and he's turned out to be Seattle's best running back. 16 seconds. That's what it took the Buccaneers to strike back on the second play. 67-yard pass. David Sims and Tony Benjamin now in the backfield for Seattle. Something went wrong. They ran right into Sims, did Meyer. He must have pivoted the wrong way. A little mix-up in the backfield that cost him a yard. Counsel Rudolph was in to take advantage of that for Tampa Bay.
Well, we're setting all type of records here today. This is the most points that Tampa Bay has had in the regular season. Last year they scored 20 against Miami. And a total amount of yardage, you know, for a defensive football team like the Buccaneers have given up 331 yards this afternoon, and that's the most that they've ever given up for a ball game.
3rd down and 5, and a big play here for Steve Meyer. His team's leading by just 1 point. 3rd down, Meyer up the middle. He drills it for his tight end, Ron Howard, close to midfield. First down, Seattle, stopped by Richard Wood. Ron Howard, who made that circus catch earlier in the game, you'll recall. And Steve Meyer now has gotten back on target.
Steve's throwing the ball well, and Howard had a lot of determination on that play. He caught the ball coming across the middle. Good protection. There's the throw. There's the catch. And Howard expected to get hit immediately as you saw him tuck that ball away.
Yes, he did. He was using the special teams down in Dallas, so he's used to contact. First down play for Seattle. A quick out past the sideline goes to Ferguson, who caught the long touchdown. That puts it down into Tampa Bay territory. Mike Washington was down there to bump Ferguson over the sidelines, but it's almost another first down. Let's see where they're going to mark it in the neighborhood of the 43. And that'll bring up second down, only about 2 to go. And here's a play I know a quarterback likes to call. You got 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 is the situation right now. Could be run or pass, and I'd like to see him maybe gamble a little bit, try to put that ball up in the air for long one off of a play pass action.
Ferguson left and Larson is to the right. They're going to go instead to the fullback, Testament, who gets the first down. He just carries players with him. Dewey Selman's riding piggyback, but Testament, who has a reputation of quite a wild man, just takes him like a bucking bronco right down to around the 35-yard line. A first down for Seattle.
Meyer has just tied a record by the Seattle team. They had completed 7 in a row. Now he's throwing the ball very, very well. There we have a Washington 16, Dallas 17, back up on top in the 3rd period.
Efren Herrera, would you think?
They have a Donnybrook going over there somewhere, I'll tell you that.
All right, Ferguson left and Larson to the right again. First down. Option play. Pitch out. He gets away from Sims. He's got it. Now Sims is going to be caught for a long loss. Get it away. And another man looking for blockers. 44-yard line. He's finally taken out of bounds. Cedric Trell was there. Blockers were coming from all over town, but so were tacklers. And Sims had no chance to turn that broken play into anything.
Let's watch this option play coming down the line. The ball's thrown behind the offensive man. He's picking it up, and we should have had a loss way back there, but there's a missed tackle by Pierre. There's another one, just kind of taking off Charles Hanna that time on 73, and he finally is driven out by Cedric Brown, number 34.
Jack Patera isn't happy about that at all. 24-23, Seattle's lead is 1 point. It's second down, about 20 yards to go. Fake draw. Myers looking. Fires it back across to Sherman Smith at the 40. Breaks 2 tackles. Breaks a third one to the 35 to 30. Sherman Smith is going to score. What a play. Watch it again.
Rolling out back to his left and finds the man right open. And watch the poor tackling on a part of Tampa right there. Some good ball carrying by Smith, but I would say it was more of some poor tackling on the part of the Buccaneers.
And Sherman Smith for a 44-yard play, and this game suddenly has exploded into a game of big plays.
And so far, Smith has rushed to set a record on his next attempt. For 17 rushes, he got 93 yards.
A kick by Leipold hits the upright, is not good. And it remains 30 to 23, and that could be a very important point. It's now a 7-point ball game. 7 minutes and 7 seconds to go. And bear in mind, and don't forget, that missed extra point try by John Leipold has left Seattle with a 7-point lead. And the way this game has been going, and the pattern continues, Tampa Bay in short order could be right back in it. Leipold on the kickoff. Waiting for it is Higgins at the 5. Here he comes. He can literally fly. Higgins trying to get back at the 30, and he is collared right there. But a pretty good spot for Tampa Bay on the 30-yard line. First down and 10. Trailing by 7 points. Sammy Green makes the stop. 7 plays for 65 yards. The last one for 44, ate up most of it. Only 3 minutes for Seattle to come back and get the TD. This has been a ball game of Tampa Bay getting close, Seattle pulling ahead, Tampa Bay fighting back. And now they got a potential break here on the missed try for point. Huff with protection on the screen. Goes to Dubose, away from one man, but then taken out by Richard Harris as he comes over the 30-yard line. It'll be a game, but just a short one. Jimmy Dubose in the backfield with Lewis Carter. So it's the number 2 back for running backs. That's the set being used by John McKay at the moment. He started the game with Anthony Davis and Ed Williams. If you're joining us late, Ricky Bell is not playing today. Gary Butler, however, is back in playing form, and he's in at tight end right now. On second down, Huff up the middle, wide open is Owens. Owens at the 50. It'll be a first down. He is hit down hard in the secondary by Ken Geddes, a linebacker, but Owens got free in the middle of that zone and nobody close to him.
Gary just picked him up very, very good on that play. As we see Owens going down in the middle, getting rid of one defensive back, coming back underneath the linebacker, finding the dead spot in his zone, and then just hanging in there. A fine reception, fine throw. Now he's trying to run the football and going backwards. Always advance it forward, son. That's where the goal line is.
49-yard line. They spot it. It's first down right here by Tampa Bay. Trying to keep the drive going. Out of the backfield is Carter over the 50. Couple of yards. Jolted by Terry Beast, the middle linebacker. And let's see what they're going to give him. Maybe 3 yards to the, call it a 3-yard gain to the 48. Second down and 7 coming up for Tampa Bay. Remember to watch for Logan's Run, the intergalactic adventure series that hits with the impact of Star Wars. Monday nights at 8, and tomorrow, a mighty battle looms for the control of the Star World. We've had a Star War going on here today. All kinds of explosions. Tampa Bay trailing by 7. Play action fake. Off the sidelines, he threw it over the head of Jimmy DuBose. Trying for his backfield receiver. And Huff was off. He might have seen a defensive man coming out of the corner of his eye and thrown it away.
Well, I don't know. He had two men open. One of them was over the middle directly. The other one was the outside. He just did throw the ball a little bit high. And, of course, when they're up that way, there's no way to get them.
Well, Johnny, picking out the secondary receiver is always that what's separate the men from the boys.
Well, you have to be able to read that coverage to know what you have on offensively and then go where they aren't.
Third down play for Huff, a big one up the middle. He has got Owens. He's the first down deep, over the 30 to the 28. Cornell Webster on the stop, but Morris Owens with another clutch grab for Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers threatening now to pull even.
That's worth it. Take a look at Owens as he gets back to the inside again. He's pushed inside, finds the opening again, and just hangs right in there, well, like he's supposed to be. This time he takes it upfield for the extra couple yards. A fine throw and a fine reception.
And what a wild game we have going here. Certainly a spectator's ball game, and more than 54,000 are looking on here in the Kingdome in Seattle. Owens 8 catches for 149 yards has tied the club record. Here's sideline for Owens. He's got it inside the 20. Huff, and a penalty flag is thrown. See if it's going to be called back. It is. This will be very costly. Personal foul has been signaled against Tampa Bay, and it cost them what could have been beautiful position. Now they'll have to fight back again.
These are the things that have been happening to Tampa Bay all season long with their offensive team. Move the football well at times, then all of a sudden a large penalty come up. Let's take a listen to the official, see what it is.
Offense, personal foul.
Personal foul against Tampa Bay, and it's a costly penalty, of course. Back to the 44 we go. Now from there, it's first down and 25.
The thing to do here, Jim, is not try to get that whole 25 back at one time. Let's just eat it up a little bit at a time and just make sure we make it.
Higgins and Mucker are in. Down the middle it goes. It is almost intercepted. Thrown over Mucker's head. And back there deep in the zone was Steve Priest, and almost had a chance to pick it off.
Let's watch the play action right here on Mucker as he cuts back to the inside, finds the open spot. Gary is just high this time with the football, almost an interception by Priest.
Had him in there, though, John. He had beaten Beeman to the inside. Now Mucker is replaced by McKay.
That's where it's been open against that zone most of the afternoon.
Now they're setting up a screen, and it is to Anthony Davis. Look out, 40. Ooh, he is hit hard as he crosses the 40 by Terry Beeson. Well, I know Tampa fans know that there's been some criticism of John McKay for not taking Tony Dorsett, and there's been some here in Seattle, but this man Beeson was one of the guys they got in the trade.
It's a fine setup of the screen as Tony Davis takes the ball, and let's watch the play by 58 Beast as he jumps over the blocker right into AD and really saved the play.
Now it's third down. About 17 to go. 18 maybe. Morris Owens and Ike Higgins are the wide receivers. Williams and Davis are behind the Huff. Up the middle, and he has got Owens at the 20. Does he hang on to it? Penalty flags down. The ball was jarred loose from Owens, but a penalty flag thrown. There might have been some bumping in there, John, before the pass got there. If so, it could be interference. And I think that's what's going to be. Interference against Seattle, a break for Tampa Bay, and they still got a shot at pulling even.
Personal foul, Seattle.
That was the signal. We'll hear in a minute who committed the foul.
There's a little roughness down there. Let's take a look at the play. We see Gary going back to throw. Good protection, excellent protection. There's the throw and the reception, the same spot it's been open. There's the hit, and you saw the elbow.
Yep.
Right in the face by Audrey Beeman, number 27, and he was the culprit. And he said, welcome, if you're coming back here, you're going to get your head whipped off.
Well, everybody knows about the celebrated incident of Atkins and Lynn Swan. And the National Football League has left no question that that sort of thing is not going to be allowed. So now let's listen here to Fred Silver.
Pass was completed. Took foul on the tackle, caused the fumble. The ball goes back to the offensive team.
The booing, Johnny, is because there was a fumble by Owens recovered by Seattle, but the personal foul is the key. That came before the fumble.
That takes precedent right there, and there's really no need for that type of play back there because, you know, man's made the catch. That's just tackling and hitting. But why did that try to go out there and maim him?
Well, these fans are howling here now. Anthony Davis, wide left, still off, back to the 12. Ken Geddes made the stop. Sometimes a play like that can fire up a team. And the fans, you got to hand it to the fans, I think, all the time, Johnny, because they can do so much for a ball club.
There's the pitch. Let's take a look at Geddes as he comes in, strips the interference, and takes Davis along with him. Fine play by Geddes as you see Davis trying to go up over top to try to get some room to run.
A loss of 3 back to the 13-yard line. It is second down and goal to go for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay got a man open. Let's see. He fires in the end zone and is intercepted. He threw too late. Interception by Beeman.
Let's watch Huff now as he rolls back to the outside. He had a man wide open and was just a poorly thrown ball by him. All he had to do was loft it up in the air. It's a fine play by Beeman, who got back in there to try to intercept the football. And it's now a big change on the ball handle going over to Seattle.
Come on, old trademark. Time for your walk. What's the hurry? I know where we're going. To where your family began. With the same Levi's blue jeans worn by this man.
Right back to action, and Seattle goes to work from their 20-yard line. That was the second interception of the ball game. That was turned in by Beeman. And a 2-yard pickup here on the first down. That's the second down and 8 to go. The Dodgers have just scored a couple of more runs. You hear the roar in the background. These are West Coast fans here in Seattle pulling for the Dodgers.
Well, now we've got to get the defense of the Buccaneers to rise to the occasion and get the ball back. We've got 2:33 left in the football game. They have to have the football, and so far the Buccaneers did move it down the field.
In motion goes Larson. The handoff to Sherman Smith going to his right. And he's pulled out on a fine tackle around the 21-yard line. Might be a loss of a yard. Defensive play by Curtis Jordan. Second-year player out of Texas Tech and a 6th-round draft choice a year ago by Tampa Bay. Loses a yard. There's the fourth period score. The Rams have gone ahead of New Orleans 14-7. We have no word whether Pat Hayden is still in there for Los Angeles.
Smith
a win there would pull them even with Atlanta, I guess, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Smith has now 19 rushes for 94 yards, which is our club record.
We've just been told Pat Hayden has played the entire game for Los Angeles, and the Rams have come from behind to take the lead, 14-7 over New Orleans. Right here it is 3rd down and 9 to go. Time has been called with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Steve Meyer is talking on the sidelines with Jack Patera.
Meyer so far today is 21 for 29 for 252 yards, 4 TDs, 2 interceptions. Records the most passes have now completed with 8. Most TD passes 4. The best completion average 72.4. So he's having a great day.
As the Stars, one of the Seagulls dances in the background. Seattle 30, Tampa Bay 23, and the Seahawks just fought off a bid by the Buccaneers to pull even. And the man of the hour is Steve Meyer for Seattle, who has already outdone his debut, which against Denver saw him hit 20 out of 29 for a new club record of 69%. Well, today he's over 72% on 21 out of 29 and 4 touchdowns and still going. 3rd down and 10. A big play for Myers. Fakes the draw. Myers firing. He got a man down there, but he cannot get to him. It is John Sawyer, the tight end. He was covered stride for stride by Curtis Jordan. Incomplete pass brings on 4th down, and Tampa Bay is going to get the ball for the final 2 minutes. And, John, you hark back to what happened in the second quarter when Huff beat the clock then.
That's right. They both played very well in the second quarter, both beating the clock, really, to Seattle to put 3 points on the board as the clock ran out. And Gary's going to have to come back with it again because we'll have the 2-minute warning after we receive this punt.
Alan Weaver stands back inside his 10. Tampa Bay has 10 men along the line. They try to block it. Back in the safety for Tampa Bay is Higgins. Higgins is taken down about the 45-yard line. So Tampa Bay, as we come to the 2-minute warning, will have 55 yards to go to pull even. Remember, if it's a tie game at the end of regulation, we will go to sudden death to decide this one, which has been a dandy today in the rematch of the Expansion Bowl. Led for the moment by the Seattle Seahawks, but only by a touchdown. We're inside the 2-minute mark. A 7-point lead by Seattle, and Tampa Bay's ball with 45 seconds to go, and all the ingredients here for an exciting down-to-the-wire finish. Morris Owens, John McKay, Greg Butler are the receivers in for Tampa Bay. Gary Huff, the quarterback. Huff fires from the side to Lewis Carter, the 45. A penalty flag goes down. We may have roughing the passer, Cornell Webster, putting the stop here on Lewis Carter after the completion. And the marker is thrown in the Tampa Bay backfield.
That's play that you don't like to see happen. As you see Huff right here now, he's looking to throw the football. The ball is being released, and right then and there is where the man has to be able to pull up. He gets charged with 15 yards for roughing the passer. He is supposed to take care of those quarterbacks. We are a fragile little thing.
I don't know. You looked pretty unfragile to me, John. You've had a couple of years, though, to get away from your fragility. Huh? 1:49 to go now. A break here for Tampa Bay. They're at the Seattle 32. 32 yards to go to tie. Quick pass is grabbed by Williams at the 30. Goes out of bounds at the 29. Eddie McMillan. And that was a little bit of ad-libbing there by Gary Huff, who was scrambling and caught an open man out of the corner of his eye. Right after the game, stay tuned for 60 minutes. Rhoda on our own, and then at 9 o'clock, a special 1-hour presentation of All in the Family with Kojak and the cleanup spot at 10 o'clock tonight on CBS. 2nd down and 2 at the 29-yard line. Up goes the air. Out of the backfield again to Carter. He's got the 1st down. He stops the clock at the 24-yard line. Cornell Webster covering. So Huff working the sidelines beautifully here, conserving the time with 1 minute and 38 seconds to go. Remember, they need a touchdown and the point after to tie the score. And don't think the point after is automatic. We've seen one this today.
We certainly have. And the Seattle Seahawks are dropping everyone back deep. The linebackers are getting deep. They're not really paying attention to the backs coming out of the backfield. So Huff is doing a smart thing, going to those backs and picking up 4 or 5 yards, maintaining control of the ball, and killing the clock by going out of bounds.
All right, Owens and Hagen safe, a split to the right. Huff to 24. Huff fires it downfield. He's intercepted. It's grabbed by McMillan. Millen over the 20, 25, goes out of bounds on the 27. Another interception by the Seattle Seahawks. Flipping has been called here against one of the teams, but I think the interception will go. Watch it again.
Let's watch the play by Huff. It's a poorly thrown ball by Huff right there. He just kind of hangs it up in the air up for grabs. No way to get it out over everyone. And Seattle Seahawks rose to the occasion and picked it off. Poorly thrown football. Huff should have probably taken his loss right there as he saw a man coming in on him. Now the Buccaneers are going to have to get the football and get it as quickly as they can.
Here was the penalty clipping. Let's listen now to the referee, Fred Silva.
Clipping, number 70 on the run back.
That was Bob Lertzema, number 70, on the clip after the interception by Eddie McMillan. 5-year veteran from Florida State and a good old Tampa boy who played at Blake High School, but he comes back to haunt the team from his hometown here late today. Well, let's see if it's the killing blow. 1 minute, 28 seconds to go. Tampa Bay does have 3 timeouts remaining. Our referee Silva, noting that his umpire was not quite in position, or rather his back judge, alertly held up play. First down at the 8-yard line. Seattle's going to keep it on the ground. They give it to Benjamin, the big Duke freshman, rookie, plunges over the 15. Dewey Selman tripped him up, but Benjamin gets out to the 18-yard line, and Tampa Bay's yet to stop the clock. Now they do. There's one of the timeouts spent by the Buccaneers. 1 minute, 12 seconds to go, as Jack Patera paces along the sidelines. His team is on the verge here of winning again, scoring its first victory of the year. It's a 30-23 game. When we come back, there'll be 1 minute and 12 seconds to go, and Tampa Bay in a tough spot. One minute, 12 seconds to go. Seattle with a 7-point lead, and the Seahawks have the ball. And look at this one. Denver 30, Oakland 7. We understand Snake Stabler's been intercepted 7 times today.
That will not make him stop throwing, though.
Well, took a bet on that. And he'll complete his share. Benjamin and Sims, the backs here behind Steve Meyer. Trying to rout the clock. They give it to Benjamin again. He cracks through. He may have the first down, which is the one thing Tampa Bay could not afford. Townsend Rudolph, the left end, and Charles Hanna team for the stop. Well, that run carried, I believe, to a first down. It's up very close to the 24-yard line. 1 minute and 4 seconds to go. They're going to measure the seed. Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, remember, 4 exciting events. As heavyweights Leon Spinks faces Scott Lideau, light heavyweight Michael Spinks, his brother, meets Gary Summerhays, and heavyweight Bernardo Mercado faces Greg Johnson, followed by the world's strongest men competitions next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on the CBS Sports Spectacular. It was a first down for Seattle, and Tampa Bay now with just 2 times left to stop the clock. We're inside the minute, and it would appear that the interception by Eddie McMillan has saved the day for the Seattle Seahawks. Like Tampa, bidding for the first victory of the year. But it's been an exciting affair. Just dropping on the ball is Steve Meyer now. Tampa Bay in a hopeless situation. 36 seconds to go. The Buccaneers stop the clock here. They can do it just one more time, and Seattle will have 2 more plays. Conceivably could run out the clock. Dewey Selman comes over to hear a word from John McKay. It's a homecoming for John McKay, too, of sorts, because he played out here at Oregon after freshman year at Purdue. Then, of course, coached a little further south at a school by the name of USC.
I believe I've heard of it.
So is everybody else.
I think he's finding it just a little bit difficult to win in this NFC.
Now Dallas has picked up an insurance touchdown to lead Washington 27-16 in the fourth period at Texas Stadium. This would keep the Cowboys undefeated along with Baltimore, and they're dwindling down, aren't they? Oakland losing today. I guess Denver, Dallas, Baltimore.
Right.
Jack Patera now probably telling the official, look for my guy to call timeout immediately. Get the clock stopped. A little chance here that Seattle is going to fumble the ball because they've gone into a defensive type game. You'll notice the backs, they keep huddled very close to the quarterback. They're in there to protect him once the ball is snapped. You'll see Meyer. He'll get right back among those three backs and drop on the ball. Right there. And again. Nope, they have not stopped the clock. They're letting it run with 26 seconds to go. Well, there are the men who've been putting the show together for you here today. We're coming down to the end. We're going to be switching, I guess, to the Washington-Dallas game, which is in the final stages, with the Cowboys winning that one. So we'll get to see the Dallas Cowboys wrapping up their fifth straight victory. And here, the Seattle Seahawks are winning their first of the year. That's it. A final score. Seattle Seahawks 30 and the Buccaneers of Tampa Bay 23. A close but exciting game.
Very exciting football game. We didn't think it was going to be like this when we first started out, but both teams playing very, very well offensively. And I know Tampa was a little bit disappointed that they did not play better defensively.
And there it is. It went right down to the final minutes before it was decided. A 7-point victory for the Seattle Seahawks over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, 4 exciting events. Heavyweights Leon Spinks faces Scott Ladeau. Light heavyweight Michael Spinks meets Gary Summerhays. And heavyweight Bernardo Machado faces Greg Johnson. Followed by the world's strongest men competition. Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Now we take you to the Washington at Dallas game with Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire.